Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Yeah. Vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm loosely, ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crashed Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping, starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, leg guy propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge the teller? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 218 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse. I don't care what you say, that you can also hear over on Spotify. You can hear it on iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon, Google, Timbuktu. You can also, I actually hear it's playing out there in the Reach. For those of you who are in the know, if you know, you know. Which, you know, speaking of if you know, you know, if you do know about our audio sources, you go over there, give us a rating. We appreciate a rating. Carter, how you doing, pimp?
I just ate egg slut in Starbucks, and now I have the bubble guts. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I don't have any of that going for me, but I am fine. Let's see, man. We have got. I think this is the one I've been waiting on. I think this is the show I've been waiting on. I didn't know I was waiting on it, but I've been waiting on it.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about two of my favorite things. Two of my favorite things in this world, and that is one of which being, Blue Beetle, as you'd imagine. The other being Scott Pilgrim. We're going to talk about some Scott Pilgrim a little later in the show. And an announcement regarding one of my favorite writers at Marvel.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a job interview, because that's the only reason I could think that you're clean shaven now. That's when no. Somebody got a real job. They don't want that 5 o'clock shadow or that beard to look kind of rough or intimidating.
No.
It's a certain class of people. So you gotta have all that shave, and for that corporate job you're trying to go get now.
I mean, it would be nice. I would love to get the call, but I am neither a Hollywood celebrity.
No, you're a sick man. I just realized that. How are you clean shaven with the Terrifier shirt on? You are a sick man, dog.
Hey, man. Art the Clown, baby.
You're a sick man.
Uptown, baby.
Somebody say you look like Rock. Oh shit! You got it. I should put you in the hole. You being disrespectful now.
Not Charles S. Dutton. Not Charles S. Dutton.
Your boy said Ernie S. Dutton. You got to go in the hole for that.
Oh no,
that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Look, the sad part is, I remember back when I was a kid. Because for those that don't know, I used to rock I rocked the clean shaven head for like a large port. Like, it's not something I've done recently. It was something like I've rocked a shaved head, like, I would say almost half my life. Even when I was like as young as 13. But for those that don't know who Charles S. Dutton is, or you weren't familiar with the show Rock.
Hey, somebody got to get nobody except me. You got to get put in the hole for real for a little bit. That boy said you got them Alien 3 glasses on too.
look, for those that don't know, that's Charles S. Dutton right there. Yeah, wait, hold up. Ain't nobody ever gave me nothing. So fuck this thing.
He said Cynthia gonna have the cosplay of Sigourney Weaver.
Oh god. Dude, wait a minute. What? Look, why y'all got me out here like this? Why y'all got me out here like this? Oh goddamn! Y'all got me out here like this, man. But now that's that was one of my Oh man, dude.
I would not be mad if we went like old school Blerd Cave and you just pulled that Alien 3 picture back up, and that's just what's on the screen for you.
For me?
For the rest of this show.
Honestly, I almost considered it just now because that means I could cut these hot ass lights off. But no, here's the funny thing. So y'all jest, but I actually found a website, I think, where you can actually get the Charles S. Dutton Alien 3 glasses. Bro. Now, granted, I think this is a Hollywood prop website.
Okay.
And I believe, these have already been sold. But these motherfuckers went for $640. No, I'm not joking. I wish I was. I wish I was.
I don't like bringing race into any of our conversations where it is not warranted. Somebody white bought that.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Good old Sal from Comic Pop got that on a shelf right now. Somebody white bought that.
Yeah, oh, no, that's 100%. That's 100%. That's 100%.
Shout out to Sal.
Oh, yeah. Shout outs. Mad shout outs.
There's some glasses I want. It's on like one of those theme sites you talk about, but it's anime villain glasses. So when you put them on, every time you do that shit, the motherfuckers just go real white. I want those. I want those badly.
I actually thought about that one day because it's funny. Like I remember this actually happened once in just an out and about setting. Apropos of, well, I guess it wasn't apropos of nothing for them, but I guess for me it was. Because I do that a lot. Like I just like it's not like a thing where like I'm trying to look cool. Like I was doing that shit before like it was popular for anime characters to do it. Where like they do like the and like I just don't get the flashy eye thing. But I remember when I was like in my 20s, I was walking through, and you know what mall I'm talking about, Hickory Hood Mall.
Oh God.
I was walking through Hickory Hood Mall. This is back when I used to work at Spencer's in that mall. And I was coming back from the food court getting, lunch while I was at work or whatever. Yeah. And I walked past this group of people. It was like a couple of white girls and some white dude. This is important if for no other reason than the fact that I think there was a little bit of racism in their commentary on me, if for no other reason. It was you know, like when a black person cosplays as an anime character, and then you get like all these white people coming out of the woodwork that are like, that so and so's not black.
That's the look they do. What you just did.
That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like, or what it reads like. But they're like, oh, you know so and so fill in the what is it like? If somebody what's the heifer's name from One Piece? Was it Nami or whatever?
I don't.
Nami's not.
You answered the wrong one.
Nami's not black. Like it smacks of that. But like basically they just made this little like, I guess they thought I couldn't hear them. But they were like, oh, somebody thinks they're I forget what anime character they even called me. But they're like, somebody thinks they're some fill in the blank anime character. And I was like, excuse me? And I noticed they just kind of kept on walking. Like they didn't like want to stop and have dialogue, because I think it was one of those situations where people think that you can't hear them, so they say they try and like insult you in some way.
Wrong. It's not that they don't think you can't hear them. They think you will not respond.
Oh, well, then there's that. Well, they definitely got a response. They got the attention that their mommy and daddy had never given them in life. From me. And yeah.
I like Hickory Ridge Mall. That was one of the last malls that had an arcade.
Yeah. A good one. That was where I learned how to play Dance Dance Revolution.
that was where I realized that the Dreamcast had an exclusive wrestling game. It was the Royal Rumble arcade game. Never knew that damn thing existed until I went to that arcade. Dude, that mall was fire, bro.
Oh no, I love them. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, the mall was great, but some of the weirdest memories ever in my life occurred at that mall. Like, I remember one time walking up to a GameStop. I'm going to go pick up pre-order for some game, fill in the blank. And I walk in and I'm like, dude, why is everybody looking all like somebody died? Because like I walk in, like usually everybody's pretty like upbeat.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, just, you know, friendly. And when I walked in, everybody was like all dour and shit. Like you like, it was like me, like you found out the ribs ran out at the family reunion or some shit. And then they were like, we just got robbed. And I was like, what? That was the day I realized that like people robbed GameStops.
Told you mine got robbed at gunpoint when I was there.
Well, no. I mean, I'm just saying like this was before I ever worked at a, well, okay. This was back when like okay, so here's the thing. Technically, it wasn't a GameStop. It was it was what became GameStop.
Yeah.
It was an EBX.
Herbert Squat, I'm finna put you in the hole. That boy said Dance Dance Revolution and Jinko jeans and Saucony's. We are not that goddamn old, okay?
I mean, I had some, but
you see when you try to go to back for a motherfucker?
I mean,
you see when you try to have somebody back real quick?
I mean, look, but no, Jabal says with the $2 super chat says, congratulations on the 86K. Thank you, pimps. And he directed that at both of us. That's the love right there, man. That's the love right there. But no, excuse me, sorry, y'all. I'm still, as you cannot tell, still a little under the weather. So, yeah, recovery. But that and the most interesting instance of a breakdown between a grown-ass man and a grown-ass woman. And I say this, and I preface all this with saying that this was the day that I realized, like, you know, people always have these stories about how, man, I was dating this chick or not dating this chick, but like I used to know this person back in the day. And when I knew them back in the day, they were a man. And then I meet them out in the world like sometime later and they're a woman. And how wrong it can go when people don't know how to respond to that sort of thing. And I saw one of the most one-sided ass whippings ever administered by a trans person in my life at that mall. And it all happened at the Chick-fil-A.
I didn't know where this story was going because we went from EB games to a trans ass whooping. I didn't know.
Like it was a situation where this dude was trying to hit on this woman. And she was a rather tall woman. She were stacked, as they would say. And when old girl wasn't buying the advances, it was when I think it finally hit the guy that he had this recollection, like it finally took like, I guess, the time it takes for them to play the Jeopardy like question theme for it to finally dawn on him that he actually knew who the person was. He was like, I used to play football with this dude. And then the lady in question was like, you ain't about to call me no dude. And I guess because dude was also in his feelings because she rejected him, but also at the same time that he realized that she used to be a guy that he knew very well, apparently. And then I guess the realization that, what he kind of stumbled into, it led for this guy to strike the woman in question. And then that led to the woman in question to beat the brakes off of him. And I don't think that man ever wants to remember that ass whooping. Because she drug him from the Chick-fil-A to the Arby's. And I don't know, Carter, if you remember the proximity of distance between the Chick-fil-A and the Arby's. But just know it was a good 30, 40 feet that she drugged this man from getting the 4-piece chicken strip to him getting a beef and cheddar.
real quick, because I want to. So you're talking about two different memories you have from that mall.
Yes, two different memories.
Walked in the EB games and they got robbed.
At shotgun point.
Memory, okay, and another memory was some transphobe dude getting a ticket to Duff City. That was
he got worked.
Okay,
he got worked.
I was so confused. Like, wait. Did the person who robbed it get okay? No, now we got it's two different stories.
And
just to give you all an idea, Chick-fil-A and the Arby's. Let's say so. The Hickory Ridge Mall he's referring to was not big; it was long.
Yeah, spread out.
So, like right in the middle of the mall, right in the middle of the mall was like a carousel, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Chick-fil-A right here. We're gonna say Chick-fil-A is those Invincible comics behind Ernie.
Yes.
Arby's all the way over here. So when he said that motherfucker got dragged, they literally got dragged because I know exactly.
Let me tell you something. It was 3 or 4 other restaurants plus a whole ass big ass arcade between that Arby's and that Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
And she drugged that motherfucker. Like you always hear people say, "Oh man, that man got beat from pillar to post." No, like that's not like just an expression. Dude literally got beat from pillar to post. And I was like, man.
Yes, Hitty you. That's why I was trying to clarify. This was just two different things that happened at that mall. I had never seen
two different things.
Something like that. Man, it just, you know what? It pisses me off that
it was instant karma.
Well, not even that. It's just what that mall turned into, or what it went on to be.
Yeah, no, 100%.
There was a really bad tornado here. It wiped them all out. A church then bought the mall.
Yep, sure did.
And didn't put nothing in it.
Nope.
I think that was where the only thing I knew about that mall was that's where you got your tags done.
Yes, actually it did. It became because they did the same thing with the mall in Memphis too. Like mall in Memphis had like a I don't want to say like a DMV, but like it had a tag place in it at one point. And it was just like I was like, what is this? And I think there was a police precinct inside the mall at one point.
Oh wow. To go from a movie theater, a skating rink, ice skating rink
so with an
every brother could be on the Mighty Ducks when you was at the mall in Memphis. Oh, I was trying to hit a knuckle puck, ban the motherfucker back in the day, big dog.
Oh yeah, no, because I remember that ice skating rink is like you couldn't help but see it. The motherfucker was huge. Because like it was right, like because the Gold Mine arcade was literally right next to it. And it was fantastic. I miss that mall. Also, we got a super chat here from X Triv. It says, "What up, though, fellas? Just dropping a little bit in the collector plate for the Krakoan Relief Fund. Get them goddamn likes up. Have a great weekend." Also, by the way, my mother actually gave me this idea, and I'm workshopping this. What I might do in instances where I do not feel well, I'm going to pre-record the 1999 and just hit a button and play it then. But because I'm a nice guy, and actually I even thought about this. Both my mother and my wife gave me the idea to make Cersei sing it.
That's cute. That'd be cute.
But that would be like you'd have to coax her into it because she's if she knows there's something like recording her or whatever, she gets weird. Like she's just like,
you gonna get duffed like that dude at the bar.
Right? Like she gonna drag me from the Chick-fil-A to the Arby's. But no, thank you for that. Let me see if I can do this. 1999. spinning in a super chat. That might be the last one because that hurt. We got one here from Wayne Smiley with the 22 says, this is to show my appreciation for the creative ways you incorporate the ask for likes and subscriptions in your videos.
That shit's getting real stupid, dog. It's starting to piss me off now because it'll be and another way that Storm is going to bring this group together is by you getting those likes. I said, bro, you ugly as hell, bro. That you so fucking green. It's catching me off guard now. It's catching me off guard now.
And you know what? My job is complete. My job is complete. Well, you know what it is? I started paying attention to I like, because full disclosure, I don't really actively watch other YouTube channels that are in my arena just because, well, yes, you can learn a lot. I just don't like copying other people's shit that's in my particular,
of course,
yeah, in my network. But I actually, for those who know, I watch a lot of Meat Canyon and Papa Meat, and dude, I love Meat Canyon. It is fantastic. That all I will say is, if you've never watched Meat Canyon, I'm good right now. You won't find the video on his channel because it got copyright stricken to hell and back and taken down. But he had one about Bugs Bunny. That's peak Meat Canyon. You will never see Meat Canyon that wild ever again in your life. But the long and short of it is that Bugs Bunny is a sexual assaulter. That is the joke of the cartoon. You'll have to look up, like, if you go on YouTube, look up Meat Canyon, Bugs Bunny, and someone will have re-uploaded it. My other personal favorite one is the pumpkin spice one, because it is just hilarious. My daughter thinks it's the funniest thing ever. But I like the way the guy who does all this stuff, he has a secondary channel called Papa Meat. And I always like how he inserts. That's where I got it from. It's not like, technically it wasn't like the most original idea, but like the way I do it is my own. But just the way that, like, how he did it was what gave me the idea for it, more or less. But that is neither here nor there. How'd you like? Did you watch the X-Men Red video?
Yes.
Did you like the Make a Rocco Great Again?
I don't. That's the one that made me get loud at work. That's the one. That's the one I was talking about. That would get because it just caught me so off guard because I wasn't watching. I was listening.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening and I was writing, and then as soon as leave a like on this video, oh my fucking goodness.
Sorry about that. Had to mute myself. Anyway, no, Splosh gets it. Splosh knows where I'm coming from. Looking like a double wide surprise.
Oh, that's where you all got that shit.
Yeah.
From. Okie dokie. We actually got a $5 hot and ready from LP3 saying, did you guys hear one of the Captain Coca-Cola theories was Magneto? Long story short, I appreciate how thorough you are on Ernie. Let me say this. When I saw that Uncanny Avengers video, everything in my head was, nah, it couldn't be. Because, spoiler alert, if you hadn't watched that video yet, Ernie's theory, it's Hydra Steve. It's the actual Steve. I did like the fact that you said what I have said several times that people get on me about. That's the real Captain America. The one running around here is fake. Fake as one of those, that first Carter 3 album that never came out. Yeah. Fake. So
it's like fake Louis bag.
I did appreciate you putting that in, but when you kept saying that it's Hydra Steve, it's blatantly obvious it's Hydra Steve. I hadn't read it yet.
Oh,
so I was like, nah, that wouldn't make sense because he's dead. That wouldn't make sense because he's dead. Even though I'm forgetting these are comics, but then at the same time, I'm like, this just happened. And then I read it, And I was just like, yeah, that's hard to stay.
That him. Well,
y'all got to do something real nasty. Y'all got to do what I saw somebody say in the comments earlier in the chat. Y'all got to do some weird ass M. Night Shyamalan twist to tell me that is not Steve Rogers in there.
Oh yeah, no. Because someone said, well, it could just as easily be U.S. Agent, and I was like, nah. Because as a U.S. Agent, like last I checked, last time we saw a U.S. Agent, he was alive and well. This is somebody who was brought back to life. Like, because they, like, Dr. Stasis and MODOK make it very clear the person that they are using was killed. Like, they had to regenerate, and they even talk about how, like, he just got his, like, mouth back. Like, it's somebody, he was literally just reconstituted. So yeah, I'm sorry, that's Hydra Steve. And I mean, if it turns out it's not Hydra Cap, I will totally put out an apology video, complete with apology music. But no.
I'll say this. If it is Hydra Steve, my only question would then be, because he is an out and out villain now, and they're putting him in just this book, how nerfed is he going to be compared to Secret Empire and stuff like that? Because I don't know if you all have realized this, but honestly, that would actually be interesting if that's something they're going to constantly do. The first arc of Uncanny Avengers, when Remender was writing it, I think it was John Cassaday on art as well. We got Red Skull with the brain of Professor Xavier. Sounds OP as hell. I think they whooped him in that like first arc. Yeah. Now we get another Hydra person, Hydra Steve. How is he going to catch it? That's my question. Yeah. You know he gonna be neutered from the Secret Empire stuff.
Yeah, well, okay, so he obviously won't have the Cosmic Cube. He doesn't have to be fair, I think he has something somewhat on par, because like even Cap said that Captain Krakoa suit is making him more powerful than what he should be. Because so it's clearly not a normal human. Because it augments what you already have. So it makes sense as to why, like, he broke Cap's arm the way he did. But I am curious to see how they're gonna play it all out. I don't think it's Magneto in the suit, because, like I said, the guy literally just refers to himself as a man, and we already have a Magneto clone running around. So Joseph is over on the Scarlet Witch side of things. We don't need any more Magneto clones. So I'm gonna say right off rip, I don't think that's gonna be the case. Personally, I don't think that's gonna be the case. By the way, thank you, Dominic Coles, for the 12 months as Papa Meat, and insert in the same sentence shakes my head.
I swear. Bill 93505 says, with that said, John Walker would be bringing his shield if he were Captain Krakoa. That's where you're wrong.
He doesn't have a shield.
U.S. Agent does not have a shield, because he previously got I think it was one of those Spirit Airline flights to Duff City, thanks to Daredevil. Daredevil still got that shield somewhere. Well, not anymore. No. It's probably somewhere in hell or somewhere with Stick. That boy got whooped and got his shield took. So you're actually incorrect in that, sir.
I will say, as far as in regards to whether he does have the shield or not, I do remember in the Christopher Priest miniseries that he did, apparently U.S. Agent had a bunch of them, because they're not as durable as Cap's.
Yeah, because one got broken and he complained about how expensive they were to make or something.
Yeah, so he got a bunch of counterfeits just laying around. Like it's I don't know, but just the same, he did get that shield snatched. Daredevil was rocking that mug for a good 2, 3, 4 issues after the fact. But all that is neither here nor there. Point of the matter is, we're here to talk about something very, very, very specific that we have not started talking about yet.
Yep, let's get to it.
Let's
more 3 hours. No more 3 hours. Let's get on. Let's stay on.
No, we're not doing that again. Not if I can help it. Not if I can help it. But what we're here to talk about is that Blue Beetle. That damn dirty Blue Beetle has finally made his way to cinemas and theaters across the world. And Carter and I got to see it so that we could talk about it here on the show. And yeah, I gotta admit, I walked into it with a little bit of bias, because I believe I've said this on multiple occasions on the show and various other places that I'm a huge fan of Blue Beetle. Like, I was never the biggest fan of Blue Beetle when Ted Kord and Dan Garrett. I won't even say Dan. I won't even bring Dan Garrett in this because that motherfucker was gone by the time I was born. So Ted Kord was the guy when I was coming up. But I was never the biggest fan of Ted Kord Blue Beetle. I thought he was. It wasn't that I didn't like him. I just thought he was okay. He's all right. I can take him or leave him. Like, if I had my choice, if I'm gonna pick, regular man,
yeah,
I'm gonna be like, yeah, just give me Batman. just give me like don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with Ted Kord. He alright, but like, he ain't nobody to write home about. He's not look, he ain't Jaime Reyes. Let's just put it that way. Jaime got the juice, as far as I'm concerned. For all 12 people in the chat that remember that movie. But that said, the movie is out, and I know there was a lot of concern that Warner Brothers Discovery was not promoting the film, that because of the writer's strike, none of the actors involved were going to be promoting the film. The only person who could really promote the film is the director, because the Directors Guild, they are not on strike right now. So Angel Manuel Soto has been promoting the film and doing like interviews and whatnot and what have you. But all of your principal actors, like case in point, our star Zolo Maridueña, who plays Jaime Reyes. He's not really been able to do promotion or anything like that for the film. Nor has any of the other actors involved, like Susan Sarandon, what's his name? I think it's Scott Trujillo. I don't think either of them, or Raul Max Trujillo. That's his name. My bad. I don't know why I said Scott. But anyway, I don't think any of them really be able to do promotion for the film, really, not in any major way. So a lot of people thought, this movie is going to get buried. It's going to wind up getting buried. Oppenheimer and Barbie are still like smashing it at the box office. But yeah, I will definitely just go to say right now, I'm not going to hide my thoughts on this. I really enjoyed the movie. I liked Jaime Reyes as portrayed by Zolo. I like the heart that he brought to the movie. For those that are unfamiliar with Jaime in the comics, he is a very like optimistic character. He's a very idealistic character when it comes to his superheroing and how he carries himself as a superhero. All of that was present in this movie. And I felt he did a really good job. Bringing that character to life. If there's any one beef, and I don't really want to call it beef. I was a little disappointed when the movie, like, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but when the movie starts and you learn how old Jaime is, I was like, oh man. But I was kind of glad at the same time. Because for those who don't know, in the comics, Jaime only just recently got out of high school. Mm-hmm. He's a high schooler, or was a high schooler up until this year. But in the movie, he is college age. He is in college. But that makes sense because there's no point trying to make Zolo portray a high schooler yet again like he just did in Cobra Kai. So, but Carter, what'd you think about old Jaime?
He was cool. He was cool. Well, one reason they absolutely had to make him, you see how rude he is, just leaves when I try to give my POV on. So
I can still hear
I think another reason that they had to portray him as a college kid was how else is the love interest thing going to work? Because I kept forgetting that. I kept thinking about, wait, how old is he again? Because isn't she supposed to be much older?
She grown.
You know, but that would get into spoiler territory. I didn't know that the girl playing his sister is almost 40, though. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah, talking about that is Belissa Escobedo. Yeah, Belissa Escobedo. Yep.
But yeah, just staying on this brother. He was fine in the role. You telling me that he's very optimistic in the comics, it makes sense now for the film.
Yeah.
Why he would act the way he would act in certain things, or just thinking that, you know what, I'm gonna do this, or I can do this, or we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna fix this. That makes a lot more sense now. I think he was one of the two things that I really, really enjoy. I'd say three. But yeah, he was one of the main things I think a lot of people would enjoy with the movie. He was fun. He was fun.
Like he's for the best way to kind of look at him is and I know like this was like something that was a major like kind of joke during a lot of people's initial like responses and reactions to the character. But Blue Beetle is, I mean, he's not I don't want to call him a carbon copy of like Peter Parker or anything like that. He's not. But he does kind of fit the bill of like your prototypical young hero. Like he's very much a guy who he believes that if you're a superhero, you got to do it a certain way. You can't be a murder hobo, mass murdering psychopath. He believes that great power comes with great responsibility, even though he doesn't say that. He's that kind of a character. He's not the he's not like don't go into this expecting him to be the guy that is going to like walk into the building and intentionally try to kill everyone. He's not Deadpool. Nor should he be. I will also say too, the family. The family in this film, which by the way, you already brought up Belissa Escobedo. But also we've got well, obviously there is the George Lopez, who I think that stuck out a lot in this movie. He's actually got a pretty decent sized role in this film. He's not like where normally Hollywood would hire like an actor that's been around for a while to play like a mentor style figure or whatever. they're usually not around very much. Kind of like I like to use Aunt May as an example. Like in the first couple of MCU Spider-Man films, Marissa Tomei was just kind of there as Aunt May. Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, no, it's okay. I'm okay with her just being there because but I mean, she didn't really have anything to do. Like she was just there to be Aunt May. It wasn't really till like No Way Home where she really got like something to do, like something. Yeah.
Let me say this with George Lopez, and then you can continue on. Just for anyone that has not seen this yet.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that George Lopez was in this film, you already kind of had an idea. It's in there, but it's not turned all the way up like you think it is. So you could still enjoy it. It's not like a Will Smith or a Jack Black or anything like that. That's still George Lopez, and George Lopez is gonna George Lopez, but it's not turned up to 11. So you can be safe in knowing that part. But he is actually playing the character that he is supposed to be playing.
Like it's not like, hey, we hired George Lopez to be George Lopez. Like he's not Uncle Rudy. He's just George Lopez with a mullet. No, he is actually portraying a character, and not just doing his own thing the whole time. There's some moments. There's definitely some moments, but not like the whole time. The rest of the family I thought was pretty good too. I think that actually kind of helped enhance how I felt about Jaime because let's see here. We've got George Lopez, obviously. Damien Alcazar, who plays the father of Jaime. And then there was also El Padilla Carrillo, who plays the mother. And my personal favorite, Adriana Barraza. She was fantastic. That was Nana. I saw somebody already kind of say something in the chat about it. But yeah, Grandma was great. Abuela was out here. Some of you may remember from the trailers. In the trailers, everyone probably remembers this shot right here where Nana got the big gat. she got the real chopper. But yeah, it was she was fantastic. She was great. And she's not even really in the movie like a super duper mega lot until like you get to like the third act. But like every scene with her is gold. Like I'm sorry, y'all need to hurry up and greenlight the next movie because I don't want y'all to miss out on peak Nana in this film. There are some parts of the movie that I think I saw someone bring up, I think Elite X1 brought up a chat that the sister was super annoying. She didn't bother me. I kind of understood the trope. They were going for like the tough sister, but deep down, she's actually, got a soft heart. She just likes to hide it. I kind of saw where this was coming from. She wasn't I will say this. She was not my favorite part of the Reyes family, but I was okay with her, how she was portrayed. I was like, they, can't like all of them. But no, I love that. Who you were, or not you, but, or actually you mentioned her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The love interest, of this film, who is this is Jenny Cord, and she's played by I think it's Bruna Marquezine, or maybe Marquezina. My Spanish is hazy on that one right now, but she was actually pretty good in this. I won't lie, like not my favorite character in the movie by any stretch of the imagination. But, like, she had good chemistry with Zolo, so it kind of worked itself out. It also didn't help that the whole time I was like, oh, so y'all just made you. It's going to sound real dismissive. But, like, she was, for a character that was literally made up for the movie, which, to be fair, she's not the only character that was made up for the movie. Because in the comics, Ted Core doesn't have a daughter. At least not now, he doesn't. Though he might have one later because of this movie. He didn't have a sister either before this movie was announced. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Maybe they'll port her over. She was fine. Wasn't like anything that was like super duper standout. In the great pantheon of superhero love interest in movies, she was, to me, just okay. Like she didn't do anything that was like, that made me go, man, she really didn't need to be here. And she wasn't doing too much. It's like, man, y'all really could have, you kind of pulled her back a little bit. There was nothing like that. So it wasn't like she was a bad actress or anything. Just like she did what she was supposed to do. She was the love interest. What, like, as far as like family dynamic, what'd you think of the family, Carter?
God damn it.
Go ahead, go off, King. Go off.
But no, it's just I have been running through different scenarios where I could review this movie and answer your questions without you feeling some type of way, and then it's a back and forth with you and me. I've been going back and forth since yesterday about it. It was your typical what you have seen in films before Hispanic family. Like everybody had a job and they did their job. The sister is supposed to antagonize the brother, but still love the brother. The mom is there to be the mom. The dad is there to kind of be uplifting sometimes and have a loving wife. The grandma is there to be the grandma, where she might low key be like the realest one. It's stuff you've seen before when it comes to the Hispanic family dynamic in a film like this, where there be spy kids or something like that. It's stuff you've seen before, and everybody did a fine job.
Yeah. I will say, real quick, Superior Bryce, I'm keenly aware Victoria Cord was in Blue Beetle Graduation Day. You may or may not know I did a video about it, and I specifically talked about the character. I'm not talking about Victoria right now. I'm talking about Jenny. Jenny is not in the comics. I literally just hinted that Victoria was in the comics.
I think they're talking about because you said that he didn't have a sister either.
No, I said he didn't have a sister in the comics up until recently. But I guess it's one of those deals where I feel like sometimes people comment before they actually finish hearing what I have to say. but no, it's neither here nor there. But I guess while we're talking about Victoria Cord, so Victoria Cord played by Susan Sarandon.
Can we get this out of the way real quick because it's gonna bug me?
Go right ahead.
We were both wrong in this instance. Well, I'm not gonna say why, but when we get to the spoilers,
we'll save it. We'll save it. Yeah. No. I was gonna trust me. I was gonna talk about it. Okay. I have not forgotten. But no, Susan Sarandon, she was okay. She wasn't really doing anything that was like gonna like win her an Oscar or anything like that. For this movie, she was stereotypical bad guy number one. Like, which is sad because I was kind of hoping that because of the actress involved that they would have taken.
In it.
Well, not only that, I was hoping they would do more with her as a character, but like she's just kind of a one-note character, and that's all I'll really say since we're still in spoiler-free territory. That's all I'll really say. I will say this much: she did just enough. They did just enough supervillain shorthand with her that you knew she was the bad guy. Like, there was like some moments of casual racism that came up in this movie, like specifically from her character. And you're just like, oh, so I'm definitely not supposed to like this bitch. And then going from her, I guess I don't know. You seem pretty much in the same boat as me on Susan Sarandon. I don't know. What do you think?
Hold on. Say what you called her again. What'd you call her again?
What?
you said supervillain bad guy number one. Don't you say?
Yeah, it's like when it's kind of like remember when like when we get like you get a supervillain in a movie or even just a bad guy in general, like, and they're not doing anything they're not doing anything special. They're just being a bad guy, and it's like, oh yeah, generic bad guy, 687 or generic bad guy 12-1607. It's never anything like super duper crazy. Like they're not reinventing the wheel, they're just playing a bad guy.
Yeah. I thought about, if any of you remember this movie, I thought about Gene Hackman from Ants, where he was clearly the bad guy.
Yeah.
But everything he did, he swore it was for the good of the colony.
Yeah.
Every time she said something about to make the world a better place, this first thing popped in my head.
Oh no, 100%. Oh no, she was no, actually that is, yeah, no, that's pretty, I mean, because I'm gonna go right now. You look at her. She's even rocking the Karen do. I mean, she is, yeah, and she even said herself, and credit to Susan Sarandon for this, whenever she was interviewed about the character, she would refer to her character of Victoria Cord as a Karen.
Yeah.
So there's that. As far as the other villain in the film, and that would be Carapax. Carapax, who is, as I said earlier, not played by Scott Trio, but Raul Max Trujillo. I liked him. And once again, we're not in spoiler territory, so I don't really want to talk about it just yet. I will definitely say, while he was effective, I felt like they waited way too late to give you his backstory. They literally waited. It was like, have you ever been in school and like you got a homework assignment and you wait, like you still finishing the homework in the classroom while the teacher's calling for it and she picking it up and you still like right there?
Nah, fuck, you can go to hell. You can go right to hell. You can go right to hell. Dump a shot at me and I know it. You don't know it, but I know it. You can kiss my ass. That's what you can do.
Like you say, you're like, oh, come on. Let me get it. Yeah, here it is. It's ready.
You ain't never seen a motherfucker who hated his last name was Carter Moore in roll call. You can go right to hell. You can go to hell.
I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, that was my only issue with him as a character. Is like they were like, man, it's like, ooh, shit, we got 5 minutes. Yeah, hurry up, get his backstory. I was like, God damn, man, y'all ain't shit. It was like they forgot. You know what it is? I know exactly what happened. The movie was shot. It was being edited. And the editor was just too lazy to go back and put the shit where it was originally supposed to be. And just said, man, I'm not going back through all this, man. Here, just slap the shit in at the end. Nobody will care. That's what it felt like.
Okay, I don't want this to be a spoiler, but the reason he is saying all of this is because you get that backstory.
Yeah.
Like the last 30 minutes?
Not even 30. It's like the last 10 minutes. It's the last 10 minutes of the movie. Like 15 max. 15 max is when you finally get dude's backstory and learn his motivations. And I'm just like, okay.
All right, real quick. So,
Carter, go ahead. Yeah, go
Carter,
ahead.
What'd you think about Carapax? I will tell you, Ernie, that's actually in my head asking me that question. Can you pull that picture up again of him real quick? I'll tell you what I thought about. That's what I thought about Carapax, bro. That's what I thought about Carapax. If Susan Sarandon was stereotypical supervillain number 1,
yeah,
he was stereotypical henchman number 16. Okay?
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
That's it. That's it.
That was it. That's 100% it. That's it. That said, as far as getting back to the film itself, I liked the CG in the film. Like, I felt like the CG budget was a bit higher in this movie versus other DC films we've seen as of late.
Yeah.
There were very few points in the film where I was just like, ooh, this looks rough, or ooh, they didn't let this finish cooking in the render farm. Yeah. It was like, no, everything, all the CG in this film, for the most part, was fairly like spot on. Like, like I was like, oh wow, I was like, dude, I like this. I like how they're animating the actual Blue Beetle ship.
Yes.
The scenes where we see like, and this is actually one of my personal favorites, the shot right here where we see Jaime with the Buster Sword. Like, I was like, all this stuff is like really cool. Like, they did a really good job animating all the stuff, making it look like it all felt like it belonged on the camera. So shout out to the visual effects team on this. And yeah, I mean, were there like maybe a spot or two where maybe things looked a little weird? Probably. But like, it wasn't anything that I was just like, oh, right there. Like, I wasn't like Leonardo DiCaprio standing up in my chair, like pointing at the TV screen. I was never doing that. But yeah, for the most part, I thought everything looked great.
Someone asked me what I thought. So how is Blue Beetle when he is Blue Beetle? And what I said to them is that basically it's more of what you said. When you can tell what's going on, because there are a few instances where you can't really tell what's happening. But when you can tell what's going on, that shit was dope.
Oh yeah, no, like
that shit was dope.
Like when old boy whipped them guns out, I was like, yeah, let's go. I was like, let's go.
The moments where you couldn't tell what was going on are very, very small, very, very minute.
Yeah.
But when you could tell what was happening, whether it was him fighting people or fighting Carapax, it was dope.
Oh yeah, no, like I like to use this scene as an example. Like this, like, and I think both of the fight scenes between him and Carapax are great. There are shots like this where things get a little red. A little too red. Where
I you were playing Remnant 2, didn't it?
Right. I was like, God damn. I was like, dude, I was like, I can't see shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then it would go like this, and I'd be like, okay, cool. I can see everything now. I think that was a design aesthetic that probably just didn't work out the way that maybe they had hoped. But ultimately, I feel like when you get this movie at home, I think that it will. Yeah, because I feel like maybe it might, because you can kind of tune your TV a little bit better to your personal specifications, and I think maybe it'll probably come out a little bit better. But I thought, yeah, for as much as I didn't think that Carapax was like the greatest villain on Earth, or even the greatest henchman on Earth, I did feel like the fight scenes between him and Blue Beetle were actually probably, I would dare say, some of the better ones I've seen as of late. That said, here is the one area of the movie where I've seen a lot of the criticism, the most criticism, honestly, and it's with the humor in the movie, which for me didn't bother me. I wasn't bothered by the humor of the film. I will say there were about 2 or 3 more dick jokes than I was expecting in the film, and they're very quick. They are very fast, and it's something that, like, if you I One of them comes from Kaji Da, of all people. And I guess, since we're talking about Kaji Da, let's talk about Kaji Da real quick. Like Carter.
Mm-hmm.
What did you, because you said you're not really as terribly familiar with Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah.
So this is something I saw that there were people who were legitimately upset about this. Like, they were like fire hot and mad on Twitter when the first trailer for the film came out, and it was revealed that Kaji Da had the voice of a woman. Now, if you watch like Young Justice, and I think some of the Justice League Teen Titans versus Justice League, and I think the Judas Contract animated movies, Kaji Da's voice is basically just Jaime's voice, more or less, but just more digitized.
Mm-hmm.
In this, they went with just it being a female's voice, and people got really upset about that. I thought it was really strange. But for those that don't know, that was Becky G. For those who are unfamiliar, Becky G was, I think most people who probably watch like Empire know who she is.
Okay.
She was the Hispanic girl that was on there that was signed to was it signed to the Lions record label. But she's also got her own like actual music career.
Oh my God.
What?
We gave, and some of the stuff that we're talking about here, we gave some criticisms or just this could have been done better, or this was just supervillain number one, whatever the fuck, whoop-de-whoop. Yeah. People complained about, to me, it was just an AI voice.
Yeah.
No different than what I hear when I say, hey, Google.
Mm-hmm.
No different than what some motherfucker hears when they say, hey, Siri. That's what you complaining about?
I saw, you know what it was? It was people that were mad that it, like, it's the same people who like to use the term MCU. It's those types of people, if that makes it make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, they're taking away all the male roles, of which there are still 10 million of them. But no, I didn't care personally. I thought she was fine. The only thing about Kaji Da that I did not like in this movie, and it has nothing to do with performance, has nothing to do with Becky G. I think she did a great job for what she was doing. Okay. She did a good job of playing a disaffected alien artificial intelligence, which, I mean, that's what she should sound like. She shouldn't be like, oh my God, life is great and it could be better, or some bullshit. She's not Max Lord or anything like that. But no, I thought that she did a good job. She's supposed to be a cold alien intelligence that is learning about humanity. I was fine with that. But there are some moments in the movie where it almost sounds like the movie forgot Kaji Da was there.
What you mean?
Like, we'll talk about it as spoilers, but okay. I'm just gonna say that like, I felt like there were some moments where it's like, you have a whole like, you got a whole like alien voice in your head that you could talk to about this, right? Okay. And then I would just go on with the rest of the movie. There were some weird story choices that Kaji Da was left out of that I didn't like. Okay. That I feel like if Kaji Da were present for, would have made the finale of the movie even more impactful, if that makes any sense. I have also heard some people complain about the messaging in this movie. I don't have a problem with the messaging. I did say earlier people complained about the humor. I saw some people say there were some jokes in the movie that came off as cringe. I don't feel like they were cringe personally. I also feel cringe is a very an overused word. I feel like it has been weaponized to the point that people use it incorrectly a lot of the time. I didn't feel that any of it was cringe. I do feel like there were some jokes that didn't land, but I don't think that a joke not landing is cringe. I just think the joke just didn't land. And there are some jokes I feel like that if you are not Mexican or of Latin descent, you probably won't get. It's kind of like with anime. Like there's certain jokes from Japanese humor that I feel like American audiences just laugh at because they know they're supposed to. They don't actually get why it's actually funny. Like it's just one of those things. You've been trained to laugh when fill in the blank character makes a joke about something from that is very cultural and specific to their culture that you have no idea what they're talking about. And it's like you just laugh because you're like, oh. But yeah, there were a couple of jokes even I didn't get, but I was like, I saw the other people in the audience who were of the diaspora that joke was directed at, and they were giggling. So I took it as this was not a joke that was for me. And I left it at that. Didn't make a strike against the movie or anything like that. But the messaging in the movie, I know I saw some people upset about because there are a lot of messages in the movie about gentrification, casual racism. We mentioned this earlier with Victoria Cord. It also happens with a couple of other characters. And the movie's not shy about its messaging. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. That didn't bother me at all. Though I will say, if there was any one thing that happened in this movie where I was like, y'all could have left that out, or you could have done it better. There's an actor, I think it's Harvey Guillen or Guillen or Guillen, I don't know. But he's typically on What We Do in the Shadows. And he plays Mr. Sanchez, which is also just yet another way to tell you how racist Victoria Cord is, because that's actually not his name.
She literally just calls him Sanchez through the whole goddamn movie.
Yeah, and he actually tells you his name in like later in the movie, and it's in a moment that while like I get what the director was going for, the whole moment itself, like I didn't mind that particular part of it, but the reasoning why the moment was happening didn't really strike the same chord with me that I think the director was going for, because it kind of came out of nowhere. But we'll talk more about that in spoilers too. That said, overall, yeah, was the movie perfect? No, it was not perfect. Is it going to make $2 billion at the box office? Probably not. I don't even think it's going to strike $1 billion. I think the movie will honestly be lucky to make its budget back. And I'm not saying that because I think the movie is bad. I'm saying it because the movie has not been marketed. Actually, here, let's do something real quick. Let's play a little. How much did I cost?
Somebody actually said that in the chat of, you know, you could say because of the writer's strike, it wasn't promoted, but they also said in the chat, I can't scroll up and see. I think that particular message might be gone, but he also said that it wasn't getting promoted before the fucking strike.
Well, no, it was not. No, it was not being promoted. It was not being. This movie cost $120 million.
Ain't no way in hell. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying it didn't look like it cost that much. I'm saying I don't think it's gonna make that back though. I'm sorry. I made him choke. I do apologize. Hopefully it can get a good 300 to 500 million worldwide. Nobody except me. Nobody is going to see it like that. I'm sorry.
Look, let me tell you. Look, okay, so I'll tell you what's going on right now. Okay. The movie so far in its opening day has made $10 million.
That's what I saw this morning.
Yeah. So I mean that's not bad, but like it's not like typical superhero movie numbers. At least not what Hollywood has become accustomed to because of the MCU. And honestly, not even MCU movies make that much money all the time. Like, it's really like your big tentpole films, like your Avengers movies that do that. When like solo MCU movies do it, it's actually considered quite anomalous. Like Black Panther, Captain Marvel, they did it. Iron Man 3, I think, did it. But like, you have to think about what was going on at the time when those movies were released. So like Black Panther had a whole campaign around it, both pro and against. There were black people all over the internet who didn't even fuck with comic book movies like that were wanting to go see it. And I will also say Disney was really smart to market the movie in ways that only black people would, be more likely to catch. Like, case in point, both Black Panther trailers were held. I think one was during an NBA All-Star weekend, and another one was during like NBA playoffs. Which, sounds stereotypical, but I mean, let's be real. I would say the same thing, that they should have done this for Blue Beetle. They should have, like, if there was some kind of if there was any kind of FIFA anything going on, that's where you should have marketed that shit, because Mexican people love soccer apparently. But it's one of those deals that personally I feel like, Warner Brothers Discovery did not do a good job of promoting this film. So it's going to have to, like, honestly, it's a grassroots marketing campaign going on, where it's basically, the actors can't promote the movie, so the fans are having to promote the movie, and that sucks, because while yes, if you get some really big social media influencers who can like drive people to theaters, sure, but you're taking a huge chance on that working out. But like, going back to like, your specifics, look at Iron Man 3. I think it made $1 billion. I believe that's the one that made $1 billion. That was because it was, I think, the first movie to come out after the first Avengers movie. So people were curious to see what was going to happen. It was like one of the first, I believe, or maybe it wasn't the first, but like, it was that movie that everybody's like, oh man, what's Iron Man going to do? After what happened in Avengers. Captain Marvel had a whole hate campaign behind it. That's why people went to go see it, because they were curious. And it was the last movie before Endgame came out. So you had that going forward. It was a good lead in. But yeah, Blue Beetle doesn't have any of that to play off of. So all it can play off of is that it's the first quotey fingers DCU film, even though it was being made before the DCU was even created. So there's that. Carter, you have any final thoughts on this before we jump into spoilers?
Well, let me ask you this. Was this something that was supposed to be on HBO Max first, and they just put it in theaters?
Yeah, or
was it the other way?
No. It was originally supposed to be an HBO Max film. About a year or so after it was announced, then it was shifted to a big budget theater release, because its budget also increased with that. So, but yeah, and honestly, regardless, if this was just going to be a straight to HBO Max film, it didn't look like it. I don't think. I thought it looked pretty damn good, and they used that money well.
I didn't know that until somebody in the chat brought it up. I thought it was something that I thought was originally going to be in theaters, but then all the shakeup happened there, and then they were going to put it on streaming, but then they changed it up and put it back in theaters. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. No.
Closing. We actually didn't give a genuine review on it. What did you think of it as a whole, though?
Oh, I said I liked it. I said at the very beginning, I liked the movie a lot. I didn't think it was perfect. Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. I think it probably just got lost in translation, but yeah. I liked the movie a lot. I would even dare say that I loved it. It is not perfect. It is not without its problems, but I think those problems are so minuscule that they're not even really worth, holding against the film itself. Some odd writing choices here or there regarding, like what I said about Kaji Da, and the whole thing with, quotey fingers Mr. Sanchez towards the end, and how they used Carapax's backstory at the ass end of the movie. Yeah, those were not good choices.
Okay,
but they did not hurt the film overall for me.
So let me just say this real quick. It should have been a series. I've seen some other people saying it should have. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what we got right now. What we got is in theaters, and what we got in theaters, it was fine. Yeah. I could see I could see it being something like a big budget kind of HBO Max thing. You plop your entire family in front of the TV to watch it. You watch it in bed with your significant other or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not going to blow your socks off, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it
doesn't
fine.
do anything new. It doesn't do anything new. There.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. There you go. Like I said, it's no there. That's not a. I don't think either one of us have like a negative overall opinion of the movie.
But it's when I see some of these comments in the chat that are going to make me say something negative, and I don't want to. Like, there's one from Monumental Comics saying people are fed up with DC movies, and this should be the one to bring people back.
Well, I think okay. I'm gonna tell you what. So here's what I didn't say about the film, and I probably should have. Personally, I've been a huge fan of the first Shazam movie. Okay. I love the first Shazam. I think it's the best DCEU movie that exists because it's not in the. I mean, it is in the DCU, but it's not slavish to the DCEU. It's actually a very night and day different movie from your typical DCEU films.
Okay.
I feel like this is the same. It's not like any other DCEU film. It's more upbeat. It's more uplifting, even though there is some very dark stuff that happens in the film. But yeah, neither here nor there. Let's go back a little bit because we got some super chats here. I'm not gonna be able to sing. I apologize, everyone. I'm not gonna be able to do the 1999 because my throat is done. However, what we will do is Carter, you go ahead. Go ahead. Prepare. Go ahead. I'm gonna need you to hum a few bars for me.
Oh, boy. It ain't enough money in the world.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Do it for Gabriel Knight. Or are you gonna make me do it with my horse ass voice?
I'm not going. No one's making you do anything you don't want to do. At least.
But I want to do it.
Oh my God. I can't believe this was going to come out of my mouth. I was going to just say, hold them until next week and just do. Oh God.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. No, I'll do that. That's a good idea, Carter. Thank you for that. Here, we're gonna.
It's gonna be a singing motherfucker when we start.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm just gonna sing it at random moments.
Did you just put it in a bottle or something? Oh, you writing it down?
I thought you just that's one. That's one. There we go.
I just thought you did some Disney, like some Looney Tunes shit, where you sang it into a ball and you put the ball up to just open up the next Blerd Cave or something.
Oh, dude, if I had that kind of power, do you think I would?
What kind of Looney Tunes shit did you
try? Do you think I would if I had that kind of power? Really? Do you think? No.
Okay, Gabriel Knight with the 1999 saying, "Happy Saturday, everyone. Almost didn't get to drop this in the collection plate. Been on the go since 4 a.m. You sound like you're going to work every day. I'll catch the full show later this evening, or you could just catch it on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Twitcher, X, whatever the hell. Anywhere you listen to your audio profile, we on those. So you ain't got to run up all your data trying to come back here when you know you're not going to pay attention to the whole thing if you watch it on YouTube, because you're going to open up another tab watching some shit you ain't got no business. Spotify, audio. That's why we do that. So thank you for that 1999, my good man.
And then we got Black Century King
with the Little Caesars Hot and Ready $5 saying, don't forget that in Batman Brave and the Bold, the Scarab's voice were beep and boops. Really?
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. I actually forgot about that till they said it. I was like, oh yeah. I just think people need to calm down about like how accurate some things don't need to be accurate. Like some things just don't. Like sometimes it's better when it isn't. Then we got another one here from Thanos was right with the 199 says DC failures is fueling comic book movie fatigue. And that is not untrue. Mm-hmm. I think between the collective might of Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and The Flash, most people are probably like, nah, I'm good. I mean, and I didn't even hate Quantum Mania the way a lot of folks did. I thought Quantum Mania was fine. And even though I know a lot of people hated Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, I enjoyed both films. I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was probably sillier than it should have been, but I didn't hate the movie, and I actually rather enjoyed Multiverse of Madness. But I feel like what happens a lot of the time is bad superhero movies, like, say, The Flash, definitely do not help superhero or comic book movie fatigue. Mm-hmm. I'll say this. I don't think it hurts comic book movie fatigue. I think it hurts superhero movie fatigue, because there is a difference. Okay. I always like to bring up, like, because last night, my wife and I were watching Atomic Blonde. She had never seen it. And some people forget that movie is based on a comic book. Oh, God. That was one with Charlize Theron.
Okay. I could not remember her name. Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Where she was, it was like, because it came out after the John Wick craze. Is there
a movie? I said Lord Hammers. Is there a scene in that movie where she like whooping ass going down the stairs or something?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And not only that, I actually liked the artistic choice they went with, where like she looked like she got her ass whipped the whole movie. Mm-hmm. There's the very beginning of the movie, you see her, she got bruises, black eyes. Because, I mean, let's be real. And this isn't just for a woman, even a dude. Any person who fights like typical action movie characters do, you would not look like you just got out the shower and got dressed to go to work. Mm-hmm. You would look like you've been in a fight. And that's what I liked about Atomic Blonde, is that Charlize Theron just literally the whole time looked like she had gotten her ass whipped. Even though technically she was the one whipping. Like, it was one of those deals where I was like, man, nah, you should see the other motherfucker. Yeah. But
we also have we got another $5 from LP3 saying, I appreciated reading the credits and seeing all of the Latinx representation. Yeah. Made me feel that DC made an entire, I'm going to say, film to give authenticity to the culture. Thank you, LP3, for the Little Caesars. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead, shoot.
It was for the people that's trying to talk me into fucking singing, and Nuck, you did not almost make me sing when you gave me that fucking arcade stick. I said it in the chat, but I'm gonna say it to your face. No, you didn't. But Nerd Large just said something.
Yeah.
And I've been wondering what the hell this was, because I've been hearing a lot of people say, what the hell is a glizzy? Because Nerd Large just told me to warm up the glizzy, Carter, and I need to understand what that word means, because I don't know what it means, so I feel like it's disrespectful, so I want to punch them in the face. What is he telling me to warm up the glizzy? That sounds inappropriate. I want to hit this.
So here's the thing. It can mean a couple of different things depending on where you, depending on your background. Initially, a glizzy, the way I originally understood it, was shorthand for a gun, like for like a pistol, like for a Glock, for a Glock.
Say 1999.
No. Glizzy has changed. Especially in the wake of all the NPC streamers. You sound like you just heard a foreign concept. So I'm going to take it as you have not heard about the NPC invasion.
I have a very dirty mind, so when I heard warm up the glizzy, my mind went violence. What is that?
So a hot dog is what it actually means now. But the way people say it, it can sometimes be innuendo for something else. So take that. But
y'all come up with too many new goddamn phrases.
Yeah, it's not the same anymore. Like, okay, so have you heard about the NPC streamers, right?
No.
Okay, so, you often hear with them because, like, on TikTok, you can throw out these different emojis, and like these NPC streamers, they'll like pretend, like basically what they do is they pretend to be video game characters, and they just do and say whatever the chat tells them.
Okay.
Thanks for the glizzy.
I didn't know what it. So you say it's NPC?
NPC, like non-player character.
Okay, that's what I thought it meant. I'm like, why is this a trend right now? People just being NPCs. That is very strange. Y'all do some strange shit.
Oh man, look. Too spicy.
Because I saw one video with this kid who was acting like he was Miles Morales NPC or something. Yeah. And somebody made a comment and he went really hood out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull one up. It's dumb as hell. But yeah, like, I'll put it to you like this. If you go on TikTok, this is the type of shit you're gonna see. You're gonna see shit like this. They're like, thanks for the glizzy. Thanks for the glizzy. Like, they'll be like, pop, 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 pop. And like, you see the chick in the middle, like I don't know if you can see this, Carter, but she's popping popcorn with her hair curler.
Why do you have that picture saved?
I don't. I pulled it up off of Google Chrome.
One thing I did know. It's
easy to find. Like, it's literally, if you look up NPC short, that's literally like the first thing you'll see.
One movie that I did not know about was based on a comic book Elite X1 just put me on game. A History of Violence?
Yes, History of Violence was based on a comic.
I want to read that comic now. I did not know that.
Road to Perdition, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
The Tom Hanks movie?
Mm-hmm. Also.
Word?
Yep. Like I said, I don't think people are tired of comic book movies. I think they're tired of superhero movies, and not even superhero movies. I think what people really mean is there's no such thing as superhero comic book movie fatigue, whatever. What there is fatigue for is bad superhero movies. And I would even dare say mediocre superhero movies. I think people are tired of movies that just don't offer anything new. And I'm going to be honest, not everything is going to be new. It's kind of like, remember we were talking about, what was that one video game you were playing? The one, God, I forget what it was, but it was one of those games you could beat in like a few hours. It was that action game. It was one I saw everybody on Twitch playing. People were actually like enjoying it, but it was one of the things that people kept saying whenever people reviewed it, said, oh yeah, it's kind of a throwback to the days where you could go to Blockbuster and rent a game and you beat it in a weekend and take it back and like, yeah, you're not like going to put 100 hours in this game. It's not like Skyrim, but it's still a fun game. It was one where it was kind of like it was almost like a Western. It was something Hard West, I think is what it was called. If I remember,
Evil West
or Evil West. Evil West. There you go.
Evil West.
Hard West is a different one, but yeah, Evil West. Like it's one of those. I feel like just like you can have video games that they're not like, oh my God, this is the greatest avant-garde. Like this has changed the game. It does just because a game doesn't do that doesn't mean the game's not good. It's the same thing for movies. I can watch a movie that doesn't do anything new, but like it's still entertaining. Yeah, like it just, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's better when people take chances and try something new, but I mean, tried and true isn't always bad. I don't think it should be the norm either, but I don't think it's a bad thing when a movie is just like, oh, okay, yeah, just it's a good movie. That said, let's get into our spoiler territory for this. We're not going to spend a whole heap of a lot of time. At least I don't think we will. I could always be wrong. We're not going to spend a whole heap of a lot of time on Blue Beetle spoilers because not really a whole heap of a lot to spoil. Well, I guess maybe there is, depending on how you look at it. But here's what I will say. Some things that I thought were very interesting, and I was very surprised by some of the things that happened in this. But let's start with our predictions, or rather, I think I was the only one who really did predictions for this. So I think the first prediction I gave was that we were going to see Ted Cord in the movie, like actually, like physically present in the movie. That one actually did kind of slick happen. It's in the post credits.
You fuck.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. It's in the post credit scene. It's in the post credit scene.
Because you saw it before I did. Mm-hmm. The fact that you didn't tell me if there were any or not, I just left.
Oh shit! My bad. I should have told. There were two. There were two post credit scenes. One of them is not as important as the other, but the first one, the mid credit scene, reveals Ted. Okay. Let's go. Let me set this up. The reason why Ted Cord is not in the movie is because he is missing. They basically pulled an Ant-Man, like what they did with like Wasp in the first movie. Wasp wasn't there because she was lost in the quantum realm. They don't say that in the movie. They don't say he's lost in the quantum realm or he's lost somewhere specific, but he disappeared. Like he just disappeared. He just mysteriously was no longer around anymore. And it's heavily implied that this happened when Jenny Cord, who, once again, the daughter in this movie of Ted Cord, when she was very young. But yeah, Ted Cord does show up at the end of the movie. A lot of people said that they thought it was somebody else because he refers to himself in the third person at a later point in the thing, but it is him. It's just that he's referring to himself in the third person because he can't believe that he is alive. It's like something happened. We don't know what it is, but technically he does show up. Basically what it is, it's like they do this thing where like the camera's ultra digitized, so you can't see his face clearly, but you can tell it's a white dude.
Is that code for we don't know what actor we want to be her pappy yet?
We don't know. Well, I will also say this. We do also see photos of him, like it's kind of used as stock imagery in the movie, like during the credits.
Yeah, the art.
Yeah,
okay.
And there was art, there was art, and there was like a photo that comes up somewhere during the credits.
Okay.
But yeah, and they also we technically see Dan Garrett as well. We also see Dan Garrett as well at one point, but once again, like neither here nor there. So technically, I called that one. Now here's one of the ones. Let's see here that I did not get. That there would be a setup for Booster Gold, whether big or small. And possibly even be the reason why Ted isn't around for the first film. Maybe they're time hopping. That was my full prediction there. Now, that said, because we don't really know the context of the post-credit scene, I'm just going to take the L on that one and say, no. That does not happen. We do get a Green Lantern reference, though. So that was cool. We actually get a Green Lantern reference in the credits. In the opening credits of the movie, which I thought was pretty interesting considering the history between the Green Lantern Corps and the Reach, because they do not like one another. The second one, I said there might be a Peacemaker appearance. There's no Peacemaker appearance in the movie at all. This is the one Carter was referring to earlier. Victoria Cord will serve as the villain, but ultimately turn out to be a good guy with no moral compass. That does not happen at all. That heifer's a straight up mustache twirling villain the whole time. There is no redeeming qualities for her whatsoever. She is a bad guy to the absolute bitter end. Now, here's one where I'm actually going to I am going to count this as a proper prediction because I said that Carapax would turn on Victoria and try to keep the power for himself or whatever it is they take for himself. While he doesn't necessarily do that second part, he does turn on Victoria. He does turn on her just for different reasons. So I'm taking that one.
Which was so undeserved, bro.
Well, no. Okay. So let's talk about that real quick. I want to point something out here, and this is the problem I had with his face turn at the end of the movie. At no point in the movie that I remember do they ever make it clear that he has modified memories or he has no memory of his past. It doesn't really, like, honestly, his past doesn't come up until right before he gets the power of the Scarab. He gets the upgrade.
That's the first time I remember him even having the picture.
Yeah, no, it is the first. Well, no, okay, so the locket, it's something he messes with earlier in the film, but he doesn't open it, so you don't know what's in it. And initially, I thought it was like, oh, he has a wife and kid that, like, he's estranged from or he lost or something like that. And then you come to find out, no, he is the kid in the locket, and that's his mom. And then like you find out, oh, his mom was killed by an airstrike from cord weapons. So then I started thinking about WandaVision and all this other shit, because it was a scene that was like straight out of WandaVision, where like he looks up, he sees the bomb and sees cord on the side of it, and it's like, okay, this is basically okay, cool, all right. But what I thought was so strange about it is that not only did this happen, it felt so undeserved, him getting his redemption where he got his memories back and remembered who he really was. Because this dude literally sat here and watched Jaime watch his dad die. Like, he literally sat there and seemed quite gleeful about it. I was like, there's no amount of memory wiping that's gonna make you that type of a motherfucker. Whether it was something whether Victoria did to him, or it was just repressed memories or whatever, that shit was weird. I feel like that was something that should have been, it would have worked better if they would have sprinkled some of that throughout the film. Like, that's the thing that, like, I'm kind of like, ooh, man, I wouldn't have done that. I would have set this guy up earlier. But he couldn't. It's also weird because he couldn't be the villain of the movie or even a decent henchman of the movie if he was sympathetic. Like, at least not the way they were going for. I was like, you gotta do one or the other. Either let this dude be irredeemable or let him be sympathetic. Don't try and do both. That's neither here nor there, though. Oh, I did predict correctly on this one that as much as people will expect Superman or Batman, neither will show up in the movie outside of name drops. That is accurate. Both Superman and Batman, as well as even the Flash, are referenced in this movie just by name. Like, Superman is literally referenced as something that exists in this universe already. We just don't see them. There's multiple. There's also, did you catch the references to like Lex Luthor and Ace Chemicals and all the other shit that? Yeah, there were tons of there was references to Promethium and Deathstroke. I was like, God damn. I was like, y'all go ahead.
One thing I meant to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, OMAC.
Yes.
Was that not a team book or some shit?
Okay, so OMAC, I think it was both a solo book and a team book at one point, but OMAC can mean different things. So there were characters that have been named OMAC, but OMAC is also an artificial intelligence that's just in DC Comics proper.
I swear I saw that as a team book or some shit during the New 52 because Frankenstein was on it.
Yeah, no. That was a thing a thing that happened. But OMAC is also the artificial intelligence that's connected to Brother Eye.
Oh wow.
So you technically you had it in a roundabout way. Because this was also a thing I thought was so funny. This shot right here in the trailers, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is like them alluding to the Reach. And then after seeing the movie, it's like, oh no, this is just OMAC. This is a bunch of OMACs, basically just popping up in the movie. And we just didn't have the context at the time. I will also say, we mentioned the Dan. I mentioned the Dan Garrett stuff earlier, so I'll leave that out. What'd you think about the Nintendo Power Glove?
I actually told one of my homeboys, FGC, anybody who is in the fighting game community and stuff like that. I actually told my partner this. I'm like, man, you'd have liked it. There was a Triforce Power Glove in this movie.
It really was. I was like, God damn.
If you are not a fighting game fan, you're not gonna know who the fuck Triforce is, but it's a whole thing. But there was a Power Glove in it, and it was used for backhand purposes. I didn't have an issue with it.
No, I didn't either. Also, the money shot, I feel, from most of the trailers, we showed it earlier, this shot right here where he's got the Buster Sword.
Oh, that was the money shot to you?
Well, no, that was the money shot they used in most of the trailers. This was always like the thing they usually ended on. But what I liked is that they actually had him use one of the limit breaks from Final Fantasy VII in it. Like, he doesn't do the Omni Slash, so don't expect that. He does the Blade Beam from Final Fantasy VII in this. And one could even make an argument for him doing one of the other limit breaks. I forget the name of it at the moment. It escapes me, but the Blade Beam is the one that is the most obvious. I thought that was cool. That was pretty cool. Also, I want to ask how you feel about this, because this is something, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with what I felt about Kaji Da. What did you think about how Kaji Da was acting towards the end of the, like when Jaime and Kaji were like coming together and working together?
When she didn't let him kill old boy, saying we don't do that, we're family, and then she started speaking in Spanish and stuff like that.
Yeah, more specifically the Spanish part. More specifically the Spanish part.
I didn't have a problem with it, just because, again, you're talking to someone who has no insight into anything Blue Beetle. Yes, I've seen Young Justice, couldn't tell you word one of anything with Jaime Reyes. I assume that might be something comic related to where the AI does that after a while. So I didn't have an issue with it.
I didn't have an issue with it per se. My issue was the development that led to it. Like, I actually love that part where she starts, where Kaji Da starts speaking Spanish to Jaime. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was fantastic. I thought, like, honestly, not gonna lie, I slick teared up in that moment. But the reason why I said what I said earlier about how Kaji Da was underutilized is because there's moments in the film where, like, Jaime is going through some ish. Like, he is struggling, and, like, Kaji doesn't talk to him. Now, I know there's an in-story reason as to, like, oh, well, yeah, she had to reboot at one point. She got deactivated at another point. But even in points where that wasn't the case, there were moments where I feel like they should have talked to one another more. And I feel like that would have made that scene hit even harder when those moments pop up. But overall, I liked the when they actually did lean into the dynamic between Jaime and Kaji. I was cool with it. The thing earlier, that's not even that important. But the other thing I thought was funny, I know there were some people that were really confused by the second post-credit scene. Because there were people, like, when I stayed for it, I was laughing, but it was because I understood what the purpose of it was. So, you know that cartoon that they were watching in the security room?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with who that is.
I ended up looking up something about it and saw that it was an actual thing.
Yeah, it was an actual TV show. It was an actual TV show called El Chapulín Colorado. But the cartoon itself was something they made. The stop motion thing they did was something they made. But that's basically what the after credit is. It's basically just watching the full version of what they were watching. Which I thought was cool because some people don't know this, but that character is actually the most famous Mexican superhero ever. Like, it was like an old TV show from, like, I think it was back in, like, the 60s or 70s. And it was like a huge deal. So I thought that was cool. I saw here, you know, say so my uncle used to watch the show. He doesn't even speak Spanish. This is a strange thing about it. So yeah, it was a big deal. And, like, I recognized it because I've seen it before, but, like, I thought it was really cool. But there were people who were like, huh? Like, oh, is this supposed to be setting up another character from the DCU? Like, I heard people saying that shit. I was like, nah, it's an actual superhero. That it's okay. It's okay. Just go with it. Just go with it. I was a little sad there was no Guyver reference or no Kamen Rider reference in the movie, but honestly, I kind of feel like if they would have done that, it would have been kind of like showing how the sausage was made a little too much. So I can live with that. Though they did show some clips from movies that had very similar themes. Some of the stuff that Nana was watching was stuff that was all like similar in plot to Blue Beetle. Though I wish Guyver was one of them. I would have hollered if they would have done that. Let's see here. Let's go back because we do have some super chats. Carter.
Yes.
You mind reading a couple of them for me? We got one here from Nuck.
I'm not reading that. I almost banned him.
Oh no, man. Come on, man.
All right, we got the 20 bomb from Nuck saying, Carter, I hate doing this. I really hate doing this. But I'm not reading the rest. Basically, this is the brother who actually gifted me with an arcade stick for Street Fighter 6, which I have been using. But there is an instance to where he gave me a letter with the arcade stick, and I thought it was the Adam West Batman jingle. He was in the chat for that stream. If you all don't know, I do have a stream. Just type in Carter Presents on YouTube. I should pop up at some fucking point. But it was actually the 1999 jingle, and I said it out loud for a split second to confirm, and it was. And then I called him a prick because he was trying to get me to do it. But that's what he's referencing. Thank you for the 20. Fuck you. We got another 20 from Ars Parks. I'm sorry if I butchered the first part of that name, brother. Here you go, Carter. But it's weird. Okay, I read this earlier and I thought it was kind of spitting. It's weird how the animated movies have a better script than the live action when the live action is basically 80% animation. Somebody calm this man down. He's spitting right now. Somebody calm him down. somebody calm him down. We got $4.99 from Jafeezy saying Jamie wasn't a killer, but his family, and no, I don't say family, it was the grandmama. That's where that shit went into Spy Kids territory to me. Not saying that's a negative, but
oh no. His family is a killer too, because did you catch the part where dude got impaled by the beetle?
Yeah, I forgot about that part. And that was something I wanted to bring up.
They were killing folks. The family was killing.
Yeah, so you got George Lopez stepping on somebody with the beetle.
Like he was like the dude was still on the leg.
He was still on it, and he kind of kicked him off of it.
Yeah.
Can we real quick, because if we bring that part up, you actually reminded me of something else, and then we can move the fuck on with these super chats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's get these super chats out of the way first.
Okay.
So thank you, Jafeezy, for that $4.99. Rakeem Jackson, welcome to Blerd Club Gold. And I'm happy that you enjoyed Eva West. He gave me a shout out saying that he saw my stream of it and he bought it the next day. I think we are now caught up.
Yeah, we're caught up.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
When the sister, and what I can only assume is she must have had one of those jet grind radio QTEs for spray painting on some shit. How did she spray? She said, shh.
Okay.
And they had that whole thing.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So yeah, right here. Yeah, this is this
is why I want you to bring that part up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna lie. This part made my eye roll.
Okay.
Because the way, I'm gonna tell you why. This is why establishing shots are important. There was no establishing that she was actually doing this to begin with. Nope. It's like they're like, oh hey, we gotta like, because okay. So the whole time it's going on, Jaime has been captured. You know, I'm gonna bring this back up because I don't. Wait, no, wrong one. There you go. Excuse me. Jaime has been captured. He is literally being tortured. He is being killed. This heifer did have no time whatsoever to be tagging the beetle. And I want to point something out. That's the beetle, it looks small. Here, I'm gonna pull this back up. It looks small, but this beetle is freaking huge. So this is like this tag is bigger than she is, basically. Just about her, damn near as big as she is. And she put that shit up in like 0.5 seconds. I mean, like, I literally, and it's also funny that Bomb Funk Cyberpunk came out this week. Yeah. But like literally, it was like she went and then
it looked like you've seen in movies before where it's like somebody's trying to steal something or going undercover where they spray paint the camera real quick. It was just like, and then it pans out and she done just made this whole piece and you just
It's like, okay, I guess. Well, here's the thing. I saw RZ say that they got the owl ship from Watchmen. Actually, that ship is in the comics and was in the comics. Like,
it was in the picture you showed earlier of the Blue Beetle.
Yeah, this is the Beetle ship. That was actually the owl ship. Actually, came from Blue Beetle. So just not to actually anyone, but like, yeah, no, that ship is actually where the owl ship comes from. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Yes, Bomb Funk Cyberpunk, that is the Jet Set Radio clone, which, by the way, a friend of the channel, Sky Blue, has music in that game.
That's dope.
Yep. Yep. It is. The owl ship is a ripoff of the Blue Beetle ship. Because a lot of people don't know this, but like the Watchmen originally was supposed to have DC characters in it. But DC didn't sign off on the usage of their characters because of the nature of the story that Alan Moore was trying to tell. Like the Question and Batman, Blue Beetle, and other characters were all supposed to be in that story. But because DC was like, no, we're not giving you these characters to tell this kind of a story with, they made up, like Alan Moore made up new characters that were vaguely similar. So if anyone is wondering, so yeah, it's, if any of the characters from Watchmen seem like they're supposed to be somebody, it's because they were. But yeah, a lot of people don't really know that a lot of the time. Yeah, Dr. Manhattan was supposed to be Captain Atom. Yes, that is true. That is true. And you can tell if you ever go back and like read how they try and write Captain Atom now when he is around, you're like, oh, okay. Let's move on to our next thing, man, because we still haven't talked about Scott Pilgrim. So we're not gonna play the trailer because I just don't feel like dealing with the whole like, oh hey, I gotta fill out this content claim thing. I don't feel like dealing with that right now. So we're just gonna take a look at some of the imagery from it that I have taken. Carter, you've seen the trailer. You've seen the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off trailer, right?
Yeah, I watched the thing like 3 times. It puts a smile on my face.
Okay, so there you go. So we're on the same page here with that. So Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. I was actually very surprised by this because it feels like this wasn't announced very long ago, and it felt like one of those things that would just, you know, be in production like right now.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that is not the case. Apparently when they announced Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, a lot of work had already been done on it. This movie, or not movie, but this series, I think it's gonna be like I think it said a 6 episode. I think it's gonna be like a 6 episode deal. I'm gonna grab some confirmation here. Let's see here. Where to go? Where is it? Yeah, I think this is gonna be 6 episodes, and not to mention I think we already knew about some of the names that were going to be in it. Like pretty much everyone who was in the live action movie is coming back. So, which I think is great personally. I liked a lot of the cast that was in this. Not to mention the look of it. I mean, it looks straight out of the comic. Minus being in color, but I mean, that's something that did actually happen later anyway. So I don't really have that big a problem with that.
I need to actually buy those since they put them in color.
Yeah, they did. They put all of them. All of them. They're all in color right now. And I mean, it looks fantastic. I love some of these like action shots that we see in here. Like you can tell that like they really did a fantastic job of depicting these characters. I mean, it looks like, honestly, if I did not know any better, I would have thought some of these shots were just from the comic. Like, I would have been like, oh yeah, it's from XYZ shot in the comic or whatever. Whoop de woo, whatever.
Hearing "We Are Sex Bomb" again, it put a smile on my face because I immediately thought about the movie, and I'm just like, it's so dope that they got the entire cast back. Like,
yes,
that's dope.
We're here to make you. What was it? We're here to sing songs about death and make you feel sad and stuff.
I wonder if this series is going to end like the graphic novel did, or if it's going to end like the video game did, where Scott just had all the girls.
Honestly,
that would be hilarious.
Honestly, I do wonder.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. There are no words. I can't wait for it.
Man, I don't know, man. It feels like a fever dream. I feel like this is like a fever dream that, yeah. Or no, I take that back. 8 episodes. This is gonna be 8 episodes.
Nice.
So that's actually even better. It looks like it's pretty much just gonna be straight up the comic, completely adapted, is what it seems like. Maybe even with some artistic changes, maybe. Who knows? All I'll say is that it definitely made me want to go back and read Scott Pilgrim all over again and go watch the movie over and over and over again, as I have done multiple times. I think I don't know if I've ever. I think I've shared this before, but that was actually my wife and I's first date. Was Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Going to that. So that's kind of like it's a movie that's very near and dear to my wife and I's heart, our collective hearts. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I cannot wait. My
one negative.
Go ahead, shoot.
I do have a negative.
Well,
I hate that it's on Netflix because I don't have Netflix and I don't want to get Netflix.
Damn. I was going to say, if they didn't start that whole password sharing thing, I'd be like, man, go ahead and get this, king.
You know what? This would actually be something that I would want to experience with all of you watching and listening. So I wish we could just do it to where that would be something we could play in the Discord like as soon as it drops.
We might do that. We might do that.
That would be dope.
We might do that. Here's what I want to see. Because when does this drop? This is supposed to drop. I think they set a date, didn't they? I believe they did. Yeah, I believe they set a date. I'm gonna go back. And look. But
was there
I'm pretty sure they set a date. Because that was the thing. I think it's in November.
November 17th.
Yeah, November 17th. So yeah. So when that comes around, I don't know if they're gonna drop all the episodes or if it's just gonna be like they're gonna do like 1 or 2 here, 2 or 3 there, which honestly, I don't think that's the way to do it. Just drop all that shit. But if they drop all of it, we can have a little Discord watch party. So yeah. They said there's ways around that, Carter. Cough. The internet is big.
Yeah, I think, you know what? The watch parties that I have done, we've had a couple people show up. I think it'll be bigger if you make that announcement and they see you in there. But like, I think your watch party will be better than my watch party in that Discord, only because I'm playing. We get to see Scott Pilgrim when you do it. They sitting through Spawn, the animated series, with Chapel screaming, "I'm sorry," mid-stroke. That shit was funny as hell.
I'm sorry, Al. I'm sorry.
One thing I did not know about Chapel, I didn't know the sick-ass suicide bomb-esque way they kept Chapel in the line. He didn't have an explosive inside him.
Yeah.
I think somebody, when we were watching it, said that he had AIDS.
Yeah, he had AIDS.
That's fucked up. And it was just a button they could hit to just get to him. That's just fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Like, because it was back in the day, there were 2 Image Comics characters that had AIDS. It was him and Shadowhawk. Now, Shadowhawk just straight up had it. There wasn't no like slow release button or nothing like that. Chapel, they basically like, yeah, if you mess up, yeah, it's over. But see, what little did he know, he could have wound up like Magic Johnson. Could have been HIV.
Who was that? LL Melvin said, just buy a gift card. Here's the thing, though. I'm trying to be better about my money. I don't want another Black Panther situation where I spent $60 just for 2 issues. I'm trying to be better with mine.
Oh, God. I'm not going to lie. I forgot that because I was like, yeah, dude, we had, because when they did that thing where they released all the Black Panther comics on Comixology, it was like at the time, the Ta-Nehisi Coates run was 2 issues away from being done. I forgot about that. So basically, because I did it too. I did it too.
$16 to watch like 8 episodes. Scott Pilgrim, that'd be so nasty. That'd be so.
Oh my god. Let's see here. We got a super chat here. This is gonna be from Sidious Black. Says with the $20 says, "Hey Carter, any word on how your ex-assistant doing, Miss Gladys?"
Last I heard, that woman who I don't like speaking on. Last I heard, she was in Korea somewhere as some kind of bounty hunter. That's all I know.
Oh damn, she out here catching them like that? Wait, she catching the runaway, the North Korean runaways?
I don't know. I don't speak on that person. I don't know that person. It's just the last I heard. Cities. But I don't know. I might look for a new one in the future.
There you go.
Especially with me looking at all this OBS stuff and more homework I have to do just for, Blerd Cave stuff. So yeah, mind your business. Thank you for that 20 though. Mind your business. Oh no.
Let's talk about our last thing real quick, and then or you know what?
Yeah, look at time.
I'm looking at the time. We're gonna skip it. You know what? Public service announcement. That we'll treat it. We'll do this. Okay. I don't want to be a liar. So Marvel did announce the Sabretooth War. Sabretooth War has been announced. This is not going to be happening until January. But for those, I don't know if y'all, I would hope that you did. If you kept up with my coverage of the Sabretooth series by Victor LaValle and Leonard Kirk, you will probably know that Sabretooth has a bunch of clones of himself now. Or not clones, they're variants. They're not clones. Let's be courteous here. They are variants from the multiverse that survived Great and Creed trying to kill all of them. And when we got to the end of the Sabretooth and the Exile series, one of the things that Victor had brought up is that he wanted to go pay his old pal a visit because his birthday was coming up. Now, for those unfamiliar, the reason why this is a big deal is because back in the day, in the 90s more specifically, every time Wolverine had a birthday, Sabretooth would show up. And if Wolverine was dating somebody or had some kind of a relationship, Sabretooth would either kill that person or attempt to kill that person. It was something that was kind of set up as a long-running tradition of Sabretooth throughout the course of their history, that every time it was Wolverine's birthday, he would come to try to physically and mentally and emotionally torture Wolverine. And I actually remember having some of those comics from back then, and it was just hilarious to me.
So he even did that shit because they continued it for a long time. And even when, one of the things that I've brought up a few times here, his little Sabretooth like tweener arc after Axis, he still did it, and that wasn't even the correct Wolverine. That was Old Man Logan.
Yeah, it was Old Man Logan.
Was still dead.
Yep.
He still did it, fucking with him. He didn't go as far because he was still that tweener shit going on, but he still, it was his birthday. He just fucked with him and beat the brakes off of him. It was hilarious.
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely positively loved
it. This Benjamin Percy is getting to have a lot of fun because you got the Sabretooth War coming up where it's going to be him, it's going to be Victor LaValle and Ben Percy.
Yeah, working
together in that. Benjamin Percy has the Wolverine stuff he's doing right now with Ghost Rider, and he still has Predator versus Wolverine coming somewhere down the pipeline.
Man,
Benjamin Percy just have Wolverine right now.
Oh yeah, he is doing his thing. Also, for those that don't remember, I actually was able to find it. This is actually a shot from the old Wolverine comics, a reminder of how special Wolverine's birthday is to Sabretooth. Like, he's literally, that's a note from Sabretooth saying, nobody kills you but me, especially today.
Fun fact, Lee Schreiber makes that same comment in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
He does. He actually does. That is legitimately a thing.
I saw what Banky said in the chat.
What?
I just saw what Banky just said in the chat.
Yeah, he did. It's like
that's fucked up.
Oh god, I love it. But yeah, when we got to the end of the Sabretooth series, that was actually the thing that was teased. Like, I got here's the shot here. Yeah, it says an old friend has a birthday coming up. Last I heard, he was on Krakoa. Let's go find him and raise some. Well, you know.
This actually gonna be, I completely forgot about him when it came to all the Fall of X stuff. So yeah, he is probably doing the Cupid Shuffle right now since Krakoa just went to shit. You know.
Oh yeah. No, he's gonna be acting a whole fool. Also, I forgot about the headless Sabretooths. I forgot about them. So yeah, he's got those to operate with too. On top of the I'll pull them back up. On top of the other three that he encountered, one of which is Captain America, the other which is almost more like a Shauna the She-Devil style version of Sabretooth, and we got metrosexual Sabretooth up top. I am here for it.
Let me ask you this, and then we can go ahead and move on, depending on how long it takes you to answer the question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Sabretooth would be someone almost like Dr. Stasis in a sense of, do you see Sabretooth working with Orchis?
I can see it happen. Well, no, actually, maybe not. Because Orchis has already messed with him, so he may not be too quick to work, especially considering that, like, in Sabretooth and the Exiles, while some people might find it easy to forget, Graydon was working with Orchis as a general contractor. So he may not have any love for Orchis. That said, Sabretooth has worked with people that he doesn't like before, so there is that. I saw someone ask, where's Birdie? Birdie is on Krakoa. Well, was on Krakoa. Nobody's on Krakoa anymore except for Charles. Birdie was resurrected during the Sabretooth and the Exile series. She's mentioned a few times in that book. And she was also, she was resurrected, I think, during the Sabretooth series. And then she's referenced in the Sabretooth and the Exiles book. But yeah, she's there. She's working as a therapist, or was working as a therapist on Krakoa. So,
okay.
So there's that. But that said, I think we can go ahead and jump over to our recommendations.
Okay.
My recommended is not going to be a comic.
Mm.
Oh, excuse me again. Getting the hiccups, I feel like. Mine is going to be a game. It's a game that I've spent a great amount of time on. To the point I feel some people may have noticed that I don't do as much lately, and it's largely because I'm playing that game. Usually the time I would be editing videos, like at night, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. So that is my recommendation. My recommendation is you go try out Baldur's Gate 3. If you are a person who likes Dungeons and Dragons or even has a passing interest in Dungeons and Dragons and you like turn-based tactical RPGs, this is the game to play. I will also say, if you are someone who likes games like Dragon Age. Dragon Age is a good example. Baldur's Gate has a lot of Dragon Age isms. Like, there's a lot of throwbacks to Dragon Age. There's a lot of actual, like, references to the actual, like, story of the greater Dungeons and Dragons universe. Characters like Zariel, Elminster, Volo, characters like that are not just referenced, but in some cases even show up. It's very deep, great story. Also, you could do some ridiculous shit in that game. Like, I saw people making memes about how you can, like, if you're playing a druid or you have a druid in your party who can shapeshift, you can turn them into a giant ass owlbear and have them come off the top rope. Like, I've seen some people stack up crates like a mile high and have the owlbear jump off the top, land on the ground, and kill everybody just from the sheer shockwave of the fall. It's fantastic. And not to mention, it's also one of those games that if you want to be a good guy, you can be a good guy. You want to be a bad guy, you can be a bad guy. If you want to be super fucking evil, you can be super fucking evil. If you want to be so good and sweet that you give people cavities, you can do that too.
I saw one thing where this dude was able to talk a boss into killing himself.
Yes, I've done it. I've done it.
I was like, what kind of G shit? It was like the dude had some kind of like cybernetic hand or something, and he was talking about doing surgery, and they talked the guy into doing the surgery first
on himself.
And then he just took the cybernetic hand and poked himself in the eye and then did the death scream and they just got XP. I said, bro.
I made
boss
fight. So basically the way that fight is set up is he's a servant of Shar, who's like the goddess of loss and shadows and shit. And he's doing an autopsy on a person while they're alive. Mm-hmm. And he wants to do it. He wants to do something similar to you, and will try to fight you if you for whatever reason choose not to go through with it or whatever. But yeah, I talked the dude into doing the surgery on himself and having his assistants kill him. And when that was over, there is no fight afterward. You don't fight any of the people who helped. They just all go in their way as if nothing ever happened. I had another fight where there was this big demon dude, and he had 7 or 8 like beefy minions, and he was wanting to kill me because he was under a curse where he had to kill everyone who could hear him sing. And once he did that, the curse would end. And I was like, well, technically, I didn't hear you sing. So you're not, I was like, I'm not the one that's affecting whether your curse is over. But I said, all your henchmen, I was like, they heard you, so you have to kill them. and he killed him. And then I was like, oh, and that big ass displacer beast over there, like a big ass Black Panther with tentacles and shit that can make himself look like it's in 2 or 3 different places at once. I was like, that motherfucker heard it too. And he killed that one. And then when it was time for the boss fight, it was just him, and we beat the sweet tea out of his ass. So yeah, I love this game. It's great. You can play like, and that does happen a lot. Not every fight can be talked out of, but I can't tell you how many times, because I'm playing a bard. So my character is all about conversation. Mm-hmm. I have literally, like, to give you guys an idea, there have been times where like I need like a 15, sometimes a 20. There have been some cases where I need a 25 roll on a charisma check to talk somebody into some shit. My final roll will be shit like 37, 40, whatever, just because my shit's so high. And I have all these different bonuses and shit to it. So yeah, I have talked many a boss into their demise. And you still get the same amount of XP, so. No, he was not singing 1999, unfortunately. The demon-looking race with the red skin. Oh, the tieflings. Tieflings. Those are a thing. I will definitely say the characters are all really good in this. Like, all of your companion characters are fantastic. They all have amazing stories. I also like the way Baldur's Gate 3 does romance in the game. Like, like normally you play games like this, you romance a character and it's all just a build-up to you getting freaky with them towards the end of the game.
Okay.
They don't do that in this game. You actually can, if you want to, get freaky with them right away. But that's not what the romance is about. It's actually about you having a relationship with that character, like where you're constantly trying to keep your relationship afloat if there are ever any issues. So it actually treats relationships like they're actual real things, not just hey, we're just trying to get naked. So I actually thought that was really cool. Also, my favorite character in the game is the Tiefling Karlach. She is fantastic. I also like, and this is very important, every character has a specific class when you start the game. You can completely undo all of that. So, like, if a character starts out as a fighter, you can make them something else. Like, one of the characters, Karlach, she starts out as a barbarian. She is a paladin now, because that actually fits her character better. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, everyone. Yeah, Frank Lee said the bard without fear. You goddamn right I am. Carter, what's your recommended this week?
Well, mine's gonna be quicker than that. Real quick, real brief. Mm-hmm. Daredevil issue number 14. We have end. We have the end of the what some people are saying is up there with the. I think I heard one motherfucker say it's better than Bendis run, but one of those top of the line Daredevil runs from Chip Zdarsky. Even though when it came to the Red Fist stuff, a lot of people didn't really like how supernaturally it went with the demons and powers and what have you. But what you have in Chip Zdarsky's run, now that it is actually finally, well, not finally, but fully finished.
Yes.
You got your street level stuff if you wanted that, and then it goes into if you want more of the fantastical powers, ninjas and stuff, it has that as well. So it has everything a Daredevil fan would need, and it ended on a really dope note. I'm someone who doesn't really like when all the toys get put back in the toy box. Let somebody else come in and see what they can do with those toys. It's always been me. But with this, I'm not mad at it. One reason that I am happy that it is finally over is because that means that omnibus is going to come just that much faster. But yeah, Daredevil 14, really nice bow on the Chip Zdarsky run. Go read that.
I'm actually excited because I'm curious to see what I don't know. I'm really curious to see what Saladin Ahmed is going to do with Daredevil after this, because I know they said that well, I know you kind of alluded to it, but talking about the toys getting put back in the box. Saladin Ahmed's run is going to be all about why there are still going to be consequences from that.
Okay.
So that I'm actually quite excited for that. Let's get into our questions from the well, not from the chat, from Discord. My bad.
And we have 4.
Oh, look at God. I'm joking. We actually have, well, truth be told, I think we have one that we didn't answer the previous week. So we actually have the perfect right amount of questions. Jay Dizzle, let's see here, says, brothers, thanks for the awesome show yet again. The talk about Brevoort and fears of going back to the mansion had me thinking. Would you all prefer certain characters to age out and retire in Marvel Comics, like Cyclops was intended to in the Claremont era, or Peter back in the day? If yes, which characters and why? I think that yes, certain characters should age out. Peter Parker is very much one I think should have aged out. I think Peter Parker should have aged out and made room for Miles Morales. I feel like if you want to keep Peter around, you can go back and do like kind of like what they've been doing with the X-Men lately, going back and telling stories about the X-Men that take place like back in the past. If you want to do that, that is fine. Or if every now and again you can have Peter come out of retirement, but like go right back into retirement after like something, and only do this when something big is going on. Like I'm talking like major crossover level shit. That I would prefer. I would say, but since Jay already mentioned Peter,
yeah,
I will throw out another character, and this is not going to be a surprise, and that's Batman. I need Batman to retire.
Okay,
he need to go sit down somewhere. I'm enjoying the Chip Zdarsky stuff, but he needs to go sit down somewhere.
You know what I hate?
What's that?
When they do kind of go off somewhere, and then the subsequent books are fire. So it's like, and then they come back, but it's like, we didn't really need them to.
No. That's like with Barry Allen. When they brought back Barry Allen, I was like, Wally was just fine.
Yeah. Well, keeping with your Batman, when Dick Grayson took over as Batman, and then you had him and Damian as Batman and Robin. Yeah. Bruce could have stayed where he was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I liked Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne's dynamic duo, and honestly, I never like Bruce could have stayed gone, and I never would have even so much as cared.
Yeah.
So
I actually want to stay with your Peter real quick, and then we can move on to the next question, because I was not thinking about Miles like at all. I was thinking more, I went back. So I'm like, Peter with Mary Jane and their kid, and Ben Reilly ran the show was fine.
I'd have been fine with Ben Reilly.
And yeah, the only reason I said that is just because that was the only time where I can think where he had the girl, he had the kid, and he already had somebody else in the mantle. What we need you for at that point?
I mean, I will be honest, I was never the biggest fan of Ben Reilly as Spider-Man, but it would have given me a reason, a good excuse to take a break from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then come back later. Though I will say, if they would have done that, and Miles Morales came along, I'd be like, yeah, Ben, get your ass on somewhere.
Yeah.
Go on. Make way for the real king. Next one we got here is Qdoma says, greetings to the Council of Blerd. Good to see you all again. My question is, what up with the new villain in the Venom comics right now, known as Flexo? So, Flexo is weird. I don't really, because I'll be brutally, God, voice crack. I'll be brutally honest. I have not been reading the last couple of issues of Venom. I know of Flexo, but I have not been like keeping up his. I don't know, Carter, have you read the last couple of issues of Venom?
Yeah, but I don't remember of Flexo. Like the last issue was dealing with Toxin. And that was the stuff where it looks like I think you already talked about though with Black Widow getting her own symbiote. I'm looking now. Maybe that's in Venomverse stuff, which is
no. That's the big robot.
Big robot motherfucker. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I want to be so to be legitimate here. That's not a new character.
Okay.
That is actually a character that's been around since the 40s. But it's the symbiote that is on Flexo, I think, that is relatively new. Yeah.
Okay. To keep it A1, I didn't care enough to look. I know that might sound bad, but
yeah.
I don't know what's up with Flexo. When I kept saying Flexo, now that I'm pulling him up and I'm looking at it now, I kept thinking about Amazo.
There you go. And honestly, I like Amazo better. So there you go. We got another one here. Urban Princess Strong Style says, "Greetings, Ernie and Carter. On this blessed Saturday, on this blessed Saturday question, which characters, Marvel, DC, etc., is in D&D terms lawful good, lawful evil, chaotic good, so and so, chaotic evil, chaotic good, so and so forth?"
Oh, you my God.
Okay, so Joker is the prime example of chaotic evil. Joker is chaotic evil personified. Here, I'm gonna whoop. Or actually, no, we'll do.
You can thank Gearless Mo for that one.
Yeah. Well, no, what I did is I forgot that I actually I still had the alerts muted from the previous time. So I was like, oh, wait, I don't have to do anything. But thank you. But no, okay. So lawful. Okay. So let me pull this up. So here are, I'm pulling this up because I want y'all to be able to see what it is I'm talking about.
Okay.
So in Dungeons and Dragons, there are 6 alignments. And here, I'm pulling this image up so I can nope, that is not it. Put it right there. Thank you very much. Okay. Actually, here, let's do it this way. There are 9 alignments. I'm sorry, I can't count. But that's it. There's lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil, neutral, true neutral, neutral evil, chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. So as I stated earlier, a character like Joker would be chaotic evil. That means that you are just evil for evil's sake. There's no rhyme or reason to what you do. You are literally a hurricane of just evil. Like, you would just as like a chaotic evil character in a D&D party would very likely turn on their party, which is why a lot of DMs don't like characters or players playing chaotic evil characters in what are otherwise neutral good or lawful whatever campaigns. Now this is the tricky one. Chaotic neutral. This is the most misused alignment in D&D because people think that chaotic neutral lets you be chaotic evil, and that is not the case. Chaotic neutral just means you're not on anybody else's side but your own, and that you are mercurial. But that said,
your tone for chaotic neutral was just, let me tell you niggas what it really is. You are so annoyed by people who misuse it.
Oh yeah, no, because I used to run D&D campaigns. I played Dungeons and Dragons since I was 17 years old, and I'm 40 now, and I have been playing, and I have DM'd about as many campaigns as I have been a part of. But I remember so many times either playing with people who picked chaotic neutral or being a DM in games where people pick chaotic neutral, and they will try and do so much heinous shit thinking that gives them a free pass. I'm like, nope, that is chaotic evil. And I would make them chaotic evil and then have them suffer the consequences of such if I were the DM.
Okay.
But no, a chaotic neutral character would be something closer to Deadpool. That's about as good as a chaotic neutral character as I think you'll get. And Deadpool is, while he does do some weird shit sometimes, for the most part, he's a good guy. Yeah. He doesn't really do villainous things, not on purpose. But sometimes his actions may put the party at risk. That is a tenet of being chaotic neutral. Chaotic good is kind of like your Robin Hood. Like, as a person who they're mercurial, but they tend to lean towards doing good things. Like, yeah, they might be a thief, they might steal, but they don't do it for themselves. Like, they usually are doing it for a good reason. So, like, you could say a character like, this might throw some people off, a character like Punisher would be considered, or actually, no. Yeah. That one gets, I tell you what, that one gets weird. You could make a case for a person like Punisher being chaotic good. I can also make a case for him being lawful good, but since he doesn't follow the law, that's kind of why I would maybe drop him down to neutral good, but that's another story altogether. When you get into the neutral territory, these could literally be anybody. Neutral good basically just means you're just straight up good. You don't necessarily believe in chaos. You don't necessarily believe in law either. This is basically any superhero, just about.
Somebody said Superman.
Superman would be lawful good.
Okay.
He would be lawful good. Batman would probably be neutral good. Or maybe even true neutral. Or not true neutral. Nah, he wouldn't be true neutral. True neutral would be like your characters, would be your characters like, you could count Juggernaut as true neutral because he's technically not good or evil. He's good now. Yeah. But like the way Juggernaut used to be, how he could be working with the bad guys 1 minute and then be on the X-Men the next. There you go. Neutral evil, almost any villain, almost any standard villain, like a Doc Ock is neutral evil. He's not like super into order. He's not really super into chaos either. And then when you get to like, yeah, your character's like lawful good. Now, just like with chaotic neutral, lawful good also has a lot of misconceptions. People think that lawful good means you're a goody two-shoes. That's not what lawful good means. Lawful good means that you follow the rules, that you believe that there is order to things. Lawful good does not equal lawful nice. You could be a lawfully good character and be a total asshole. Because that's why, like, I remember whenever I would play paladins back in the day when you played a paladin, you had to be lawful good. Full stop. Then they changed it in 3rd edition where you just had to have the alignment of whatever god you followed, which that kind of opened the door up. But yeah, back then I used to be like, I'm lawful good. I'm not lawful nice. Lawful neutral is where I would throw in characters like Batman, Judge Dredd, so on and so forth. Lawful evil, that's when you start getting to like characters like Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom would be a good, and even to a lesser extent, characters like Thanos. Okay. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, that was a more involved question than I planned.
We got another one from the homie Melvin.
Good
afternoon, my intergalactic blerds and my alien hoes. Why they gotta be hoes though?
Man,
hope you ate good this morning and took your meds. Here's my question. Has there ever been a comic, be it slice of life or capes, etc., that pissed you off? Have a great week, and here's a joke. How do you make a pool table laugh? Tickle its balls. You're a freak.
That is, here, I gotta hit the button on that.
My answer is really quick. That's pissed me off. That's not a slice of life, and it's not capes either. Crossed,
yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. For me, The Boys. The Boys. Yeah, The Boys. That's my answer. Yeah. Big Boy 71 says, good day, Blerd Cohens. Do y'all feel Blue Beetle will have a significant role in James Gunn's DCU moving forward? The opportunities will definitely be there with Peacemaker Season 2 and Booster Gold projects on the horizon. I just pray they do my boy right, as, like you, Ernie, I'm a huge Jaime Reyes fan. I think the movie did a good job at being ambiguous in Jaime's connection to the DCU. Y'all mofos don't be lazy and tap that like button. But yeah, I think he could. I think Jaime, I don't know if he would be like the face, of the DCU, but I think he could definitely be a major player in it. Like, you know, to be that youthful superhero that you know, I guess the in the same way that people look at characters like Miles Morales and Ms. Marvel. So yeah, there's that. Let's get into our questions from the chat. Want to hit these super chats real quick too before we lose them. Here was this. Oh yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here I'm gonna turn this way here just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna get into questions from the chat. First and foremost, here, let's do. Wait, we did get that one. So let me mark that. Coron Brown. Let's do that one first. Let's see here. Do I have my live chat overlay up? Yep, there it is. Had to comment just to say, great first movie to take on a date. Beautiful story. Thank you for that. And this is in regards to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's a really good movie. Very, like, if you somehow have yet to have seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World, honestly, that movie it's something I can watch like any day for any reason. Doesn't matter. I could literally watch it just because it is so good. Let's see here. What else we got? We got another one here. This one. This is actually shout out to Gearless Mo for those 20 channel memberships that Gearless Mo blessed the chat with. Which, by the way, thank you. We also got Gabriel Knight. Man, I don't know if I'll be able to do this one. Might kill me. Here, tell you what we'll do. I said I was going to mark him down. We'll do them next week. So that's 2. I owe Carter 2. Let's see here. We've got it says finally getting a chance to rest and catch the last part of the cave. Let's put this super chat towards finding Carter a Miss Gladys, and we gotta get him a new one. I just saw that too. Yeah. Let's see here. What was the guy? Oh, and here's one from Gearless Mo. Says saving Ernie his voice. If someone would have explained D&D to me like this, I would have played it more. Get those likes up. You goddamn right. Yeah, it's okay. So, and this is just coming from a guy who did a lot of DMing back in the day. I don't do it as much anymore because I just don't have time. Because it requires a lot of work. More than I'm willing to put towards anything right now that is not my channel or my comic. Or a video game. That I play, not what I'm making. But yeah, I personally, I used to always have to sit people down and explain this to them. It was also why I kind of gravitated away from Dungeons and Dragons as a DM. I started playing other games like Vampire the Masquerade or Shadow of the Demon Lord, Cthulhu Tech, Call of Cthulhu, because you didn't really have to worry about alignment as much. And I feel like alignment makes people, it forces them to play the game a certain way that they may not be able to do. That's why I always tell people, like, really think about who your character is, what they would and would not do, because your alignment really does dictate what you are capable of doing. And anytime you start doing things that are outside of your alignment, you will probably get you'll probably get pulled to a sidebar by your DM, and they'll probably be like, yeah, you might want to consider changing alignments. Like, if you are a lawful good character, but you're burning down orphanages, you're killing and threatening NPCs willy-nilly, and following through with it, yeah, you're not a lawful good character. You are something else. If you are killing indiscriminately, you are very likely an evil character. There's nothing chaotic neutral about killing people. That does not give you a murder hobo pass. And I wish more people knew that, but neither here nor there. Let's get into questions. We got one here from Jerome. Oh, we got you back, Carter.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There we go. Here, let me kill that. All right, there we go. So, let me... Yeah. There we go. Or actually... There. Got one from Jerome. Says, question. How likely is it that the Children of Tomorrow and Orcus cross paths in their attempt to wipe out the X-Men? And will that lead to all-out war between the two? I don't know if there's going to be any crosstalk between them. It seems like Orcus is quite content to let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But just based on what we saw in the Children of the Vault series, just the one issue so far, yeah, I think they're going to just let them marinate.
Yeah, and they'll make it I was going to say, they make it a point to say, yeah, we not fucking with that.
Yeah, we don't want none of that. We don't want the smoke. We don't want the smoke.
Yeah.
Because the Children of Tomorrow are... They're quite broken.
I was gonna say that says a lot that Orcus ain't trying to steer clear from that death.
They're like, yeah, no, we don't want no problems. That was how I took it.
Yeah, you got too much dip on your chip asking that question.
Right. Look. We got one from Melman here saying, and I guess I'll go back to real quick just because I don't know if I answered it fully, but I do think eventually they will end up like having to have that confrontation, but because the Children of Tomorrow owe Orcus a receipt because they did torture Seraphina and experimented on her at the beginning of the Jonathan Hickman run. So they owe Orcus a receipt. That's all I'll say. Melman says, question. Your mention of Deadpool reminded me. Does Captain America Steve Rogers really defeat him completely, effortlessly, like they insinuated in Civil War? Wait, huh? Wait, are we talking about Deadpool?
See, man, you got too much dip on your chip asking a question like that to blur without fear.
Well, no, it took me a minute. Like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I was like. So I wasn't even thinking about the Civil War comic. I was thinking about the movie. I was like,
how you just add Ryan Reynolds to that movie?
I was like, huh? But no, I don't really remember. But I will say this. A lot of people downplay how much respect characters have for Captain America. Like, Punisher let Captain America beat the brakes off him. A lot of people don't remember that from Civil War. But Punisher let Captain America beat the fool out of him. Now, I'm not saying I don't really have any recollection of their encounter in Civil War just because it wasn't one of the things that stuck out to me, but I would go on a limb and say, while Captain America and Deadpool's interactions with one another are not as many as some other characters might have, with Deadpool, I would not be shocked if that were the case. Because Captain America is considered one of the best fighters in Marvel, even above Deadpool. Like, what gives Deadpool an edge is that he's unkillable. That's really it. Like, Captain America is beating the fool out of folks more dangerous than Deadpool. So, I would say probably. Let's go back a little bit because I know we got some back here. Maybe, possibly. No. Okay, cool. We got, this is our third one here. Okay. From the homie Tubes the One. Says, what would you say to a storyline where they kill off Spider-Man by making him the Master Weaver? Like, keep him there for like a year or two, other Spider-Miles, Silk, Jessica Drew take over. I'd be fine with that. Like, if he just is chilling, off the side, just not in the forefront, like, put that motherfucker in like a Madam Web style role. I'd be perfectly fine with that shit. Just chill. You make sure the multiverse stays intact. Everybody else, let Miles Miles take the wheel. Let Miles take the wheel.
The problem with that, if it does not do well,
Yes.
They will shove Peter Parker down your throats. Even though,
yes,
I think something like that could do well if you put the right team with those books.
True.
I think if those books had phenomenal writers and the art to go with it, they would do very well. If you just put some motherfuckers on there just because they have an idea, even though that idea may not be good, may not be bad, it's not going to go as well. So I think it really depends on the talent around those books. If you're leaving the people that are on the books, that books haven't been doing well sales-wise, and then they continue not to do well sales-wise, you're going to say it's because Peter's not up front, when it's really, you need to put better people in that thing. So,
yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. What's this right here? Yeah, I'm in agreement, Bill. I'm in agreement. This question is from Bill. Says, could Blindfold predict beyond the fall of X stronger than Irene? Good question, because that's actually an issue right now. Is that Irene, Destiny, can't see past a certain point right now.
Okay.
And that's this point. Blindfold does seem like her powers are eventually going to wind up dwarfing Destiny's before too long. Also says Irene's resurrected with the Sinister gene, hence her blank visions. Daughterman's X-Men Blue Origins cover is fire. By the way, for those who have not seen it, I actually have it pulled up right here. Yeah, that's the cover. That's the cover I want.
That's dope.
That's
dope, that. Especially with like the clouds in the background. That's dope.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. I really appreciate it, if for no other reason than for the longest time, because of the Comics Code Authority, Mystique and Destiny could not be married. They had to be partners, really close friends. So when they got past the Comics Code Authority and Marvel just started getting buck wild, letting them just be gay as all get out, I was here for it. So that pleases me. But yeah, I do think Blindfold could end up being the new Destiny going forward. This is the last question. At least as far as like regular questions go. Super chats I'll answer, but we're gonna try and be quick here because it's getting close to that time. We got one here, says this is from The Other. Says the Alien RPG is really fun. I'm not a fan of the Black Goo stories. Should the people behind the system for Alien do one for Predator and Carpenter's The Thing? Maybe. I would not mind one for John Carpenter's The Thing. I don't know how I would feel about a Predator RPG, though. I mean, you could make it work. That's not excuse me. That is not an impossible thing.
Yeah.
That said, I feel like Alien just lends itself as a property better to something like that. Just because you're usually okay. Predator, it's all about the Predator. Yeah, the people there are important too. But I feel like in Alien, the human characters are more important. So it's just easier to cook up an RPG. I think that if you did something like with John Carpenter's The Thing, you would be in the same boat because the human element is more important than the alien element. Carter, are you familiar with John Carpenter's The Thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go.
I was gonna say the game. If a lot of people, I don't think, because I know we have a lot of the younger types. It was a PS2 game, I believe. Yeah, it was a PS2 game. What?
It was on PC as well.
Oh, I thought you said NPC.
No. I was just remarking that it was also on PC.
Funny enough, that was actually how I was able to play it.
That's how I played it.
Shottown Dance and The Thing has a game on the OG Xbox. Yes, that game, it was a third-person shooter, but it was team-based. It was like a co-op shooter in a sense. But you never knew which one of your teammates was infected, and it was done really, really well in that game. So I think you could do them as no one thought that the thing could even be a video game, period, and it was actually done really well there.
Yeah,
I didn't think that Alien could be done as a tactical RPG, and from what a lot of people have said, it's going to have its deters, but a lot of people have said that Alien RPG is actually really good. Who's to say you couldn't do that with Predator? I was shocked this Aliens one worked.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I think you could do that with the thing. Predator, I'm kind of, who's to say it wouldn't work? But at the same time, if you're taking turns, where's the stealth from the Predator gonna go?
If he invisible, that could be done. That could be done. Yeah, because they do it in Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Because in Baldur's Gate 3, a D&D system, you can use spells to become invisible, use spell-like abilities to become invisible. I do it all the time. And usually what I end up doing like what Mac did in Predator 1. I just start shooting everywhere. Like when someone turns invisible, I start throwing AoE spells in the area I last saw them. And a lot of times that actually works.
Okay.
But that said, I think that is it. I think we have our show. Carter, do you have anything you want to announce before we head out? Anything coming up?
I'm going to a comic show after this. I'm going to try and see if we can get another comic haul done today, because like I told you this week, there was a lot of Valiant stuff that was in like the dollar bin for some fucking reason. So I think I'm finna go clean up today. I am going to look for Livewire stuff for you though.
Thank you.
I think that's it for me, man. I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
Maybe we might go back to that DC documentary today. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I got another video in the pipeline. Actually, I have a few videos in the pipeline. I guess I'll just go ahead and say it right now just so y'all can be prepared. There is an Alpha Flight video coming. I was working on it last night. And I do also have videos in the works for Prodigy, not the X-Man, the Image Comics character from Millar World. There's also a video for the Ambassadors, and also, actually, all of these are going to be Millar World for the most part. The Ambassadors, Nightclub, those are all in the works, varying degrees of completion or production, I guess. There's one for Philadelphia that I'm working on currently. Not Millar World. That's actually the Killiverse.
Oh God.
That's what they call it. It's called the Killiverse. So take that as you want. And there's a few other things. I'm trying to do some stuff that's like kind of off the beaten path. Also, if you haven't done so already, go watch the damn TMNT Last Ronin video. I worked really hard on that. If you haven't done so already. And yeah, that's it. That's all I really have. Thank you all so much. Everyone, for the chats, the super chats, the lurkers, the patrons, channel members, our Blerd Cohen citizens. Thank you all so much. And yeah, that is all I really have. Yeah. For Carter, I'm the Blerd Without Fear. And you know what?
Jaime, not Jamie, you prick.
You know what? And that woman who called Jaime Jamie, you can go to hell.